It's Tuesday, July 7th.
Also been engaging with communities a lot sooner than normal protocols would be. So sharing media information, social media, engaging with the communities, with having representatives at the community level.
More than 60 active wildfires burning across this province.
It's really a big help, because we don't have the resources to buy the culverts, the grid road, the gravel, whatever's required to put the roads back into operation.
Several Saskatchewan communities still dealing with flooding.
We got copies of those letters from Facebook and social media, and families have been sending those to us all along. So we're reporting what's already been public already.
A Regina daycare says they ended up in an NDP strategy letter without consultation. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen.
What's going on today? Anything fun?
Temperatures are back to seasonal averages, some even above, so that's nice to see.
That's good news. The RCMP sunset ceremony is happening at Depot, 5:30 gates open, so it's at least night temperatures to do something.
I was going to say people can actually get outside and enjoy these temperatures.
Might want to get some sunscreen in. We're going to talk fires, floods, all that kind of stuff right now. Let's get to it. We begin with the latest on the province's wildfire situation. The Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency lists 65 active wildfires burning in the province, all north of Prince Albert. 6 of those fires are not contained, while 44 are listed as ongoing assessment. The SPSA says they're trying different approaches to get ahead of the situation.
Also been engaging with communities a lot sooner than normal protocols would be. So sharing media information, social media, engaging with the communities, with having representatives at the community level.
There have been 214 wildfires in Saskatchewan this year. That number last year at this time was 357. Wildfire isn't the only concern in the province. There are 10 flooding incidents right now. Roads and streets in east central Saskatchewan continue to be impacted by major flooding in Kamsack, Norquay, and the Cote First Nation. The community says they've reached out to Indigenous Services Canada and other provincial resources for support.
It's really a big help, because we don't have the resources to buy the culverts, the grid road, the gravel, and whatever's required to put the roads back into operation.
The chief is encouraged by the way people in the community have come together. Researchers have now confirmed not one, but 2 tornadoes touched down in the Pelly area during that major storm on June 28th. The first touched down near Badgerville around 5:30 p.m. and tracked about 22 kilometers before ending west of Pelly, damaging homes, barns, power lines, and trees along the way. Experts say that was an EF2 with max wind speeds estimated at 195 kilometers an hour. The second was just south of the community, rated EF1 with max speeds at 155. It happened about a half hour later, damaging trees and several homes. Experts say it traveled just under 3.5 kilometers. The Northern Tornadoes Project also confirming 5 other tornadoes elsewhere in the province last week. On June 29th in Elrose, an EF0, then on July 2nd near Kindersley, another EF0, followed by an EF1 near Denzil the same night. Finally, on June 3rd, 2 EF0 tornadoes near Springwater and Edam. No injuries were reported in any of the storms, but the Denzil EF1 did damage a farmyard and sent a semi-trailer tumbling. With all of last week's storms accounted for, that brings Saskatchewan's annual total up to 15 so far in 2026. That's in addition to 3 downbursts. And last night in Swift Current, a severe storm that left behind some hail. Looked like a snowstorm. Take a look.
Look at all the hail, you guys.
Make that Sunday night, the storm bringing hail and heavy rainfall, leading to scenes like this in Swift Current. City officials say it left behind plenty of leaves, debris, and piles of hail across the city. Crews work to clear the catch basins and storm drains to help keep up with it. Swift Current Light and Power says there may be some isolated power-related problems, and if you do have that, to contact them. Officials in Western Manitoba have declared a state of emergency over flooding there.
I would say this one of the worst years I've seen. Is you just don't know what's coming.
This is in Boissevain, Manitoba, near Brandon. Some farmers have seen their crops completely destroyed by storms in recent days as western Manitoba was pummeled by rain and hail. In nearby towns, homes and cars were also damaged by hail and basements flooded. In Brandon, City Council voted to declare a state of emergency because of rising water levels on the Assiniboine. Meanwhile, other communities have declared states of emergency because of flooding. 2 tornadoes have killed at least 11 people in central China. Look at that. The tornadoes hit China's Hubei province with winds up to 149 kilometers per hour. State media reports say 1 person is still missing. In southern China, a typhoon has been linked to 4 deaths. People are being warned more rain is in the forecast, could trigger landslides. There is also the matter of a super typhoon, Baivy, which is tracking toward Taiwan right now. It's expected to make landfall in eastern China by the weekend. City of Saskatoon warning you to stay away from the South Saskatchewan after fast-moving water ripped out the safety buoys between University Bridge and the Weir. Jeremy Dodge, we've been talking about this. Another warning now this morning.
Yeah, they keep repeating it because people don't seem to be listening. This latest repetition comes after 2 boats were rescued by fire crews on the weekend, and then the jet skier died last month. The city said crews will work to safely reinstall the buoys as soon as conditions allow. These buoys were not in place when a jet skier went over the Weir June 20th, but they were back in place across the river briefly last week. Now only half the boom is in place on the west side of the river, leaving the east side without it. The city is telling residents that all recreational activities on the river are strongly discouraged, including boating, paddling, swimming, floating, and fishing from shore. Officials are also asking people to stay back from the river's edge, warning that high water, unstable banks, and submerged hazards can quickly turn dangerous. The small green signs are up in various places along the river, warning of the increased danger.
I think there should be a sign, some kind of, big signs that would warn, especially those who are visiting Saskatoon from other places.
I look at it and it's obviously running very fast, and we just had someone apparently die, right? I mean, they couldn't find his body down there, so I would think twice if I was going to go on it again.
Boat launches below Broadway Bridge and river access points through Meewasin Valley remain closed. If you do see someone in distress in the river, the city says call 911 immediately and make note of the person's location. Well, a man involved in the killing of a Saskatoon man will spend 7.5 years behind bars, a sentence the victim's family says does not go far enough. CTV's Laura Woodward has that story.
Anna Braband-Urquiza remembers her little brother's eyes light up when he smiled. His life cut short, killed at 20 years old. Matthew Braband was shot at the Riviera Motor Inn on Avenue B North during the May long weekend last year. Tyler Pembrum and Lawrence Opikakew pleaded guilty to manslaughter with a firearm. He told police he pulled the trigger at a closed door, not aiming at anyone in particular, but wanted to shake them up, as he believed someone in the motel room had threatened him with bear mace. Opikakew is spending 13 years in prison, while a judge accepted a joint submission of 7.5 years for Pembrum. His sister tells CTV News the prison sentence isn't strong enough, especially when days are deducted for time he's already served.
There was a real issue over whether he knew the firearm was loaded and obviously whether it was going to be used, and so we had to kind of evaluate his culpability or fault considering those issues.
Pembrum apologized from the prisoner's box and said he hopes one day the family can forgive him. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, Daryl, an inmate was released by mistake.
That's right, but they've now been arrested and sent back to custody. 26-year-old Kalisha Jackson was serving time at the Saskatchewan Hospital North Battleford Integration Correctional Facility when she was let go on March 19th. She was arrested by Regina Police yesterday and is in custody at the Pine Grove Correctional Center. She is facing charges related to assault and confinement. The United States are out of the World Cup after a humbling loss to Belgium.
Oh, Matt Freese could be in trouble here. The US could be in trouble here.
It's a shocker of a goal from the co-host's point of view.
Yes, that wasn't their night. A number of major errors led to a 4-1 defeat at the hand of the Red Devils. You may have heard there was a little bit of controversy entering the match. American top scorer Flo Balogun was supposed to be suspended after getting a red card in the round of 32 in an extraordinary move. That suspension was suspended by FIFA after some intervention from the U.S. president. Balogun was not much of a factor in the match after all of that, putting just one shot on target and being subbed off late in the game. But the Belgians felt they needed to rub it in a little bit anyway, posting this online. Overturn this.
We might not need extra time.
That late goal was all Spain needed to knock Portugal out and move on to the quarterfinals. A 1-0 loss also ends Cristiano Ronaldo's World Cup career. He ends his run as the only player to have scored in 6 World Cups. Ronaldo has scored 11 World Cup goals, but only 1 in the knockout stage. That 1 goal came last week in Toronto against Croatia. As Portugal goes home, Spain will take on Belgium on Friday. We turn our attention to the weather. Picture beautiful days out there these days.
Yeah, beautiful start to the day for sure. This Morning View is brought to you by Stars Lottery. Your ticket funds life-saving care across Saskatchewan. To start the day in Regina, we are waking up to that temperature of 11 degrees. We have winds very calm to start the day, currently coming in at 7 kilometers per hour, and a mix of sun and cloud. We are expecting to be seeing some more of that sunshine throughout areas in central Saskatchewan today. So a little bit more of that sunshine in Saskatoon to start, 12 degrees and calm winds. We're not really going to be seeing those winds going up anywhere in the province for this afternoon. It's going to be a very calm afternoon. What we are going to be seeing, though, is just a little bit of some rain far down south. And you can see that on our radar tracking in. It's coming up from the United States into the afternoon hours. We just see little spots of green on our futurecast here. So it's not going to be any large accumulations of rain by any means. It's just going to be perhaps some very light spitting of rain, and it's going to be stopping and going. Into the evening hours, we do see that lessening by quite a bit. It does dissipate, and then we are looking forward to Wednesday, where we're seeing a bit more of that rain up north. It's really in the evening hours we start to see more of that storm activity, and this trend is going to continue for a few days starting tomorrow in Saskatoon and Prince Albert, where we're going to be seeing a lot of sunshine in the afternoons, but then it's in the evening hours that we see quite a bit of this storm activity continuing to roll through. Today's forecast, though, temperatures looking really nice and back up to above the seasonal average in central Saskatchewan. 25 degrees in Prince Albert and Saskatoon, 26 for the Battlefords, and 24 in Yorkton. Down south, we are seeing temperatures fall a little bit cooler than central Saskatchewan. 21 for Weyburn and Estevan with more of that cloud cover. 23 in Regina, 22 in Moose Jaw, and 21 in Swift Current. Again, though, we just saw on the radar that we do have the potential of some very light rain down south, so we won't be surprised if any of those icons turn to some light spitting of rain in the next couple hours here. 7-day forecast for Regina, looking very warm. 25 tomorrow and 25 on Thursday, up to 27 on Friday, and then take a look at your weekend temperatures. They have now entered the 30-degree range, 31 for Saturday and Sunday, 26 by Monday. In Saskatoon, we're not seeing temperatures quite as hot on the weekend, but it is going to be a really nice weekend nonetheless. 28 on Saturday and Sunday, a little bit more of that cloud cover rolling through on Sunday for what we see right now. But again, for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you're seeing mainly sunny afternoons. It's in the evenings on all 3 of those days where we could be seeing some thunderstorms into the overnight hours. Well, the World Cup is the present, but is this the future? The 2026 RoboCup finals over the weekend in South Korea. It's not quite like the real thing yet. Players say they are aiming for the robots to become FIFA champs by 2050. The RoboCup is one of the world's biggest robotics and AI competitions.
Do they dive like the players on TV?
I mean, at least these ones aren't kicking kids in the audience like that last one was we showed a few weeks ago.
Yet. Yet. They haven't gotten angry about
Yeah, these ones aren't quite as angry as that last.
Jeremy, are you buying a front row ticket for this?
Not a chance. But maybe by, like they say, 2050.
That one just tripped it. They're tripping each other.
See, the fighting's begun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why can't all the robots be
avoid
friends?
The violence.
Why can't we just all get along? Question of the day. This comes from Real World.
This does. So the other day, I am booking my husband and I's flights to Vancouver to go see my grandmother in September. And I sent the itinerary to my husband and I said, what do you think of these flights? And he said, I don't know. I wouldn't know. I've never booked a flight before.
Man's 30.
And that is when I went back in my brain and I thought about all the times we've ever traveled together. And I thought, I always booked the flights. It's just
Tyler's been exposed on morning television.
Yes. So then I thought, what is one thing that is something you've never done, but people just can't believe it? What's your I've never, and people are shocked when you tell them this?
Jeremy, you go first.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I've been racking my brain. I've never traveled out of North America.
Okay.
That's not that crazy, though. People don't get shocked. I've never seen The Breakfast Club.
Oh, what?
That's see, there we go.
No, that was genuinely very shocking.
I don't know if I've seen that either.
You've never seen The Breakfast Club?
Go.
I don't.
Yeah,
think
it's a
so.
classic.
Oh, and director Corey just said in my ear that he's never seen it either.
I don't think I've watched
You're the only one, Kaylee.
It'll also
I love The Breakfast
It'll also
Club.
very much offend her to know that I've never seen Mean Girls start to finish. I've seen portions.
What is happening?
Right, so it's going to be a lot of movie answers today. Text your name and your answer to 10400 or scan that QR code on your screen. We'll be back with more after this. Business news. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith and Ontario Premier Doug Ford are pitching an oil pipeline to bring crude from Hardisty, Alberta to Sarnia, Ontario.
By connecting Alberta's energy with Canadian refineries and European markets, we can create jobs, grow our economy, and make the most out of the world-class resources that we've been blessed with. For business,
they've dubbed it the Northern Shield Energy Corridor. The crude would be brought to refineries and factories in Ontario. It stems from an agreement between Alberta and Saskatchewan and Ontario. The pipeline they're proposing would carry 500,000 barrels of oil per day to start, with the potential to expand to 800,000. Smith and Ford say they would like to see private sector proponent, but they say they're also prepared to go ahead without one. That would mean taxpayers would be on the hook for a large part of whatever it costs. Air Canada is scaling back more flights to the U.S. The airline will stop or delay 8 U.S.-bound flights starting this fall. Routes affected include flights to New York, Florida, and the Midwest. The schedule change comes as the airline deals with higher fuel prices and lower demand for trips to the U.S.
Now we check in with Mike Siona, who has ventured north to Prince Albert. Mike, what are you talking about this morning?
Well, in Saskatchewan, there are two seasons, winter and construction. And when it comes to the summer construction season, obviously, road safety is something that is critical. We're here in Prince Albert chatting with Lyle Karasuk. Just a quick little reminder of kind of those things that, you know, maybe we took our driver's license test when we were 16, which may have been a while ago. But there are things that we can do to make sure that this is as close to the back of an ambulance as we get.
Absolutely. And you hit on a good point, Mike. It is construction season, and often it starts early, and depending on which community, whether that's in an urban center or out on the highway, and we want folks to obey the construction sites. They're there. Those crews have worked hard. We want to keep those crews safe. They don't need to be back here. We don't need to be looking after them. So follow those construction signs. I know those detours in some of our major communities are a royal pain for us, and we don't like it, but it's the inevitable because we aren't having access to wonderful weather in December.
Well, exactly. You make hay and highways when the sun shines, exactly. I think is what the expression is, and if it's not, it should be. Let's also not forget that there's an economic factor here because it's more expensive. So it's not just a safety thing, it's also a money thing. What are the types of things that we need to really be aware of, say, in construction zones specifically?
Well, certainly slowing down, number one. Watching for those flag people and other markings that are out there to avoid that, and taking the time to just be aware of your surroundings. So many times we hear on the highway of people just zipping by, they get frustrated, they're not sure where to go, and often it's just purely inattention that causes the injuries that those people see and we hear about in the media all year round.
There you go. Well, Lyle also has his cell phone in his hand. We're going to remind you that that's a no-no when you're behind the wheel later this morning.
School Day Forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus this morning, 11 degrees in Regina and 12 degrees through Saskatoon. Now by lunchtime, 22 in Regina and 23 in Saskatoon. And by final bell, warming up to those expected daytime highs for Regina. That's 23 degrees, and for Saskatoon, 25 degrees. Both cities expecting quite a bit of sunshine today, but just a little bit more cloud cover through the south. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices. In Regina, your average price, $159.9. You might be able to find it for as low as $144.9. In Saskatoon, your average price has gone down. It's now $155.9, and you could find it for as low as $151.9. In the farm markets today, we find the street price of canola, $705.25 per ton. The futures price, $757.20 per ton. Amber durum wheat now at $285.20 per ton, and red spring wheat at $285.22 per ton. The Canadian dollar is down this morning. It's now at 70.33 cents U.S. It's Country Thunder Week coming up in about 15 minutes. What's new at this year's festival?
I say good morning. It is 6:30. Let's get to news. Prime Minister Mark Carney in Turkey this morning for a NATO summit where defense spending is expected to be a major focus. Prime Minister Mark Carney arrived in Ankara after announcing a contract to build Canada's new submarine fleet. That's a big part of the case that the Prime Minister and other NATO leaders are expected to make to U.S. President Donald Trump. They will showcase military contracts worth billions to show they are boosting spending. NATO Secretary General got the ball rolling this morning, but this announcement is unlikely to impress the president.
Today, several allies are announcing the joint procurement of up to 10 Saab Global Eye aircraft.
NATO this morning formally announcing talks to buy up to 10 Global Eye surveillance planes. This is the platform that combines a surveillance system built by Saab with jets built by Bombardier. Canada is also in talks to buy this system. NATO is choosing the Global Eye over its existing U.S.-based Boeing fleet. NATO also announced another deal this morning to buy drones from a U.S. company. Canada has selected a German company, TKMS, to build its new sub-fleet after a months-long process.
The submarine is proven and capable. It's widely used by our allies.
Prime Minister Carney saying the NATO connection with Germany was a difference maker in choosing the German company over South Korea's. TKMS will build as many as 12 submarines for Canada, replacing the 4 Victoria-class subs we currently have. Only one of the is operational at the moment. The new subs are still years away. Officials say 4 of them will be delivered by 2034. Canada's contract with TKMS is expected to be worth more than $100 billion over its 30 to 50-year lifespan. Environmental advocates are calling for the province to stop its nuclear power plants and consider more affordable ways of generating power. The Saskatchewan Environmental Society and Coalition for a Clean, Green Saskatchewan say recent power projects across the world are going over budget and taking far longer to build than originally estimated. The groups say other options like renewable energy, battery storage, conservation, and efficiency improvements should be considered instead at a fraction of the cost. The groups worry not only about the environmental impact, they say, but SaskPower's current path that could deplete Crown Corporation's revenues.
It takes much too long to build. It comes with long-term environmental and health risks. Opting for nuclear power is going to bury SaskPower in debt, drive electricity rates up sharply, and put SaskPower in danger of bankruptcy.
There are more concerns over childcare in the province. It comes after the Saskatchewan NDP has concerns about the new fees the childcare centres will be implementing this fall, including a $75 per month fundraising fee, a $15 per month administrative fee, and an annual $125 enrollment fee. The NDP says the increases are making childcare unaffordable and go against the federal government's $10 a day childcare deal.
We got copies of those letters from Facebook and social media, and families have been sending those to us all along. So we're reporting what's already been public already. Yeah, the fees are going to go up, and that's hard for people to be able to manage. I mean, we're in an affordability crisis, and that's what they have to do in order to make ends meet and provide childcare the best they can. So here we are.
The YMCA confirms it is implementing new fees to help bridge a gap in available funding, but recent communications between the daycare and families were not meant to be political nor partisan. One person was sent to hospital over the weekend following a fire at a home. Firefighters were called to 1000 block of Hazen Street Saturday morning in Saskatoon about 2:30. They arrived to find heavy smoke inside the home. The homeowner was able to get out and call 911, but suffered smoke inhalation and was taken to hospital for care. An investigator will now work to determine the cause. An investigation has also been launched into a fire at a home on the 400 block of Greaves Crescent in Saskatoon. Crews were called there just before noon and found smoke coming from the back of the home. Fire had not spread and it was extinguished rather quickly. No one was injured. Environmental officials have now confirmed zebra mussels have been found in the Lake on the Prairies, which runs along the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border. Last week, the Ministry of Environment enacted a containment order on the lake after multiple invasive mussels were found in the early stage of their life cycle, but didn't specify which species. Up to this point, zebra mussels have been kept out of Saskatchewan. Any boats or watercraft that come out of Lake of the Prairies in both provinces need to be decontaminated before going into any other water body. The BC RCMP investigating a video which appears to show a Tesla driver asleep at the wheel.
Greater safety of our communities is probably the most important thing, and maybe learning a valuable lesson, and hopefully nobody gets hurt doing that kind of stuff in the future.
King posted the video online. She says it is taken over the weekend on Highway 1 between Golden and Revelstoke. A woman appeared to be sleeping in the driver's seat. There were also other people in the car, including children. BC does not allow fully automated cars. Driver assistance is allowed, but the person behind the wheel must be alert and in control. Violations can lead to fines and possibly jail time. After weeks of rainfall and gloomy weather, Saskatchewan expected to see a stretch of warm and dry conditions. Kaylee's going to get into this in just a minute. Saskatoon residents and visitors out enjoying the sunshine after the city received nearly 104 millimeters of rain in the last month. That's well above the June average of 75. Regina got about 147 according to Environment Canada. Over the last month, the average here is 85, but Environment Canada says the upper ridge will begin bringing a stretch of warmer, drier conditions.
When we get that kind of wave in our jet stream that allows warm, dry air to build underneath and just kind of keep things very quiet, we are expecting that to sort of develop probably into early next week. Still early, so we're going to have to keep our eye on it, but that often will mean warmer, drier conditions.
So that's what Christy Kleiman-Haga has to say. Let's see what Kayleen Sawatsky has to say after I show her this wonderful picture that was taken by Susan of a mama moose and her twins taken north of Meacham.
Cute.
Just roam in the fields.
A lucky sight, but also I hope they kept their distance.
That's right. Now I must ask you about that temperature.
Well, temperatures are looking pretty good to start the day. We are seeing a bit more of that cloud cover down south, and that trend is going to continue into our afternoon hours. But what is also going to continue is very low wind speeds. 11 degrees to wake us up in Regina. As I mentioned, a mix of sun and cloud, just a bit more of those clouds down through Regina compared to Saskatoon. Winds are calm, and we're waking up to that temperature of 12 degrees. So really not a bad start to the day, and the afternoon looking really nice as well because the wind gusts are going to remain so low today. We are seeing a little bit of that blue from Alberta creeping into Saskatchewan into the afternoon hours, but really it's nothing to be too worried about. It's not going to be a windy day. Current temperatures are a little bit lower far up north today to start the day. 6 degrees only in Stony Rapids, so definitely a cooler start up there. 13 though through La Ronge, 10 degrees in Prince Albert and 12 degrees in Hudson Bay. Down in the south, a bit of a warmer start in East End compared to what they have been seeing at this time in the past few days. 13 degrees already. Sharing that temperature of 13 degrees, Kindersley, Swift Current and Assiniboia. 14 degrees through Yorkton, Weyburn and Estevan to start the day. Into the afternoon today, we will be seeing warmer temperatures through the central part of the province. Saskatoon and Prince Albert expecting 25 degrees, 26 in the Battlefords and 24 degrees degrees in Yorkton, 23 in Regina this afternoon. That is just barely below the average for this time of year. 21 in Weyburn and Estevan, expecting more of that cloud cover, and 22 in Moose Jaw, 21 in Swift Current. The 7-day forecast looking absolutely beautiful. Make those plans to get outside this weekend, especially. It's going to be a hot and sunny weekend. 31 degrees for Regina on Saturday and Sunday. A little bit more of that cloud cover on Sunday, though. Before then, 25 degrees for Wednesday and Thursday, up to 27 on Friday. And into next week, we're still going to be seeing these very nice warm temperatures and a lot of sunshine. In Saskatoon, 26 degrees tomorrow, 23 on Thursday, 25 on Friday, 28 degrees on Saturday. So we're not quite seeing those 30-degree temps, but it is still going to be very hot and sunny. 28 on Sunday, again, seeing that trend of some more clouds on that day compared to Saturday, and 25 on Monday. What I do want to draw your attention to, though, is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The afternoons are looking clear from any precipitation, but the evenings, we are seeing the risk of some severe thunderstorms moving in. So that does start Wednesday evening, continues Thursday evening and Friday evening. The weekend evenings are looking clear for now.
The countdown is officially on. Creed, Riley Green, and Lainey Wilson headline Country Thunder Saskatchewan in the Craven Valley this weekend, and we're getting you all fired up this morning as we welcome in Megan Benoit. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Big week.
I know, huge week, the biggest week.
Have you been down to the festival grounds yet? How do they look?
They look good. We are opening campgrounds a little later this year because there was some mud from the rainfall, but everything is cleaning up really nicely and coming together.
How about this group of headliners? This is quite the list.
It is. I mean, Creed, like you said, everyone's going to be singing along to that song on Saturday. So very excited to continue that rock tradition that we've started the last couple of years. Lainey Wilson, I mean, she's on fire. We've been wanting to get her for a couple years now. So excited to make that happen. And then, of course, Riley Green, easy on the ears and the eyes. So I'm excited about him.
Fun to get on the ground here and start to hear the buzz and feel the excitement of Saskatchewan?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're excited. This year's lineup, again, beyond the headliners, there's so much talent. And, bringing it beyond the main stage too with beer garden songwriters, Buck and Thunder, which is new this year.
Let's get into this. You're bringing pro rodeo.
I'm so excited. I honestly might be...
Where do you put it? Where in the grounds is it?
So it's going to be where the old volleyball courts are, just at the end of Main Street. I checked that out yesterday, and it looks really cool. We've got the bleachers set up. We've partnered with Agribition, and they know this world, so I think that's a perfect partnership, and bull riding to start off the day just feels like such a natural fit.
When does that happen, and what caliber cowboy?
I mean, Saturday, Sunday, to answer that question, and then they're all pros. They're part of that Canadian rodeo circuit, so top-notch, great talent. We're excited.
You have to love that. Also, there's a charity component this year that you guys have added, partnering with Regina Food Bank.
Yes, we're very excited about that. So something new again. We have those of you who have never been back there wouldn't know, but we have a tent backstage. It's called our hospitality tent. We're going to open it up to the public on Saturday night after Creed. We've got a bit of a concert going on. We've got a live auction. All the money we raise that night at the bar, it's all going to go towards the Regina Food Bank. So we're very excited about that. Everyone come out. No matter what ticket you have, you can come backstage that evening.
That's a big thing of your group, is trying to give back to communities that you're in, right?
Absolutely. We love to touch base with those local charities everywhere we operate. Saskatchewan means a lot to us because that's kind of the hometown show for a lot of our management team and our owner. And this was a charity partnership that we were very excited to get launched this year.
We're going to get back into it on Friday when we're out there on the grounds, but for people who are starting to get their wheels in motion to get out there, what do people need to know at this early stage?
Tickets are cheaper ahead of time. They're going to go up at the gate, so get them now. The weather's looking beautiful, which is a great win for us.
So we're bringing water and sunscreen.
Yes, water, sunscreen. Stay hydrated, please. Mix in some water with your beers. Come early is always my big piece of advice. We've got the bull riding this year, but some of those earlier acts, those 4 p.m. artists, they're going to be a headliner in 2 years' time, and it's always really fun bragging rights to say, I saw them when, and you could, meet your new favorite artist.
Well, I think a lot of people are going to meet Max McNown, who's going to be one of their new favorite artists. He's on the show tomorrow with us.
I'm so excited.
This is an exciting get.
Yes, we're thrilled. I've heard nothing but wonderful things. him as a human and him as a performer. So he's one that I'm personally very excited for this weekend.
This is going to be great. Website is countrythunder.com. Anywhere else we can go to get tickets early?
We do have some single-day tickets at Sherwood Co-op, and then we've got some options at Prairie Mobile as well. So some really great partners out there.
There you go. We're checking with Max McNown tomorrow on the program. We've got Robin Natalini on the show on Friday, and of course we'll be on the Country Thunder grounds again with Megan on Friday morning as well.
Ebola is a deadly illness that is quickly spreading through Central Africa. Right now, the risk of contracting Ebola is low in the United States. However, there is a major risk if you're traveling to impacted regions like the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda. If you're traveling to an area where there is an outbreak, check the CDC and the WHO websites to assess your risk. According to experts of the American Medical Association, Ebola is transmitted through bodily fluids of a person or animal infected with the virus. So you'd need to be in close contact with someone who's already infected. While it's unlikely that you'll need to cancel your travel plans if your destination is unaffected by Ebola, be sure to check with the CDC or WHO for the most updated information. And if at all possible, consider changing locations if you're headed to an Ebola hotspot. With this Medical Minute, I'm Alex Stone.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
If you think history is dead and buried, think again. Local cemetery tours are bringing Regina's past back to life. Janelle Lippi on location for more on these fascinating stories.
Good morning. It's that time of the year again. We have made it down for the Regina Cemetery Tours, and Kenton is with me again. Kenton, thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much.
So we are so excited. It's back again. Now, those tours just recently started. We're here by a gravestone right now. Tell me a little bit about it.
So this is Rose Coles. She's going to be featured on our pandemic tour we're doing all through July. Her illness that she came in contact with was what we now call the sleeping sickness. It ranged from 1915 to 1930. It took affected about 3 million people, and about a third of them passed away from it. Rose here, she got it when she was 18 years old. She fell asleep and stayed asleep for about 8 weeks until she passed away. To this day, we don't know what caused sleeping sickness. We don't know if it was a virus, if it was a bacteria. We don't know how to stop it if it ever happened again. But for a good 15 years, it was a big mystery, and then it just disappeared.
All right, so this is really interesting stuff, and just a small sneak peek of what you can see on those Regina Cemetery tours. Now, for those who are watching who are ready to go with these, how can they be a part of the tours?
So we do the tours every Friday. You can get the tickets online at reginacemeterytours.ca. They are $20 a person or $15 for a senior. Anyone under 18 or teachers can come for free.
All right, and one more time, what can people expect this year? What do you have going on?
So every month is a different topic. July is about pandemics. August is about famous women of Regina. September is true crime. And October is a new one. It's going to be about ghost stories.
All right, Kenton. Well, thank you so much. Everybody looks forward to this. Once again, if you want to check them out, you can head to that website that's been popping up on your screen.
It's July 7th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Lakin. She's turning 7 years old today. We hope you have an amazing day with lots of love from your family. And we're also celebrating an anniversary today. Congratulations to Ryan and Diane on 19 years of marriage. We hope your anniversary is super special.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least 1 day in advance.
Good morning. It's Country Thunder Week. Are you excited?
Oh, yes. We are getting so excited. Honestly, I keep on forgetting it's this week. I still feel like it's early June, but it's going to be this week. We're going to be out there shortly. I think we're doing our initial setup tomorrow. I can barely get into the back room here, too, just because it is loaded up. There's wobbly pops all over the place. I have to walk around each morning. So we're good to go for that. If you're looking to have that special Country Thunder meal, maybe, too, we're going to tell you what Pringles is releasing starting tomorrow. It's all to do with hot dogs. We'll also tell you about the healthiest generation, who got that title. Spoiler alert, if you're excited about the Pringles hot dogs, probably not you. And we got a round of head blank coming up. Wedding Chaos. We'll give you 3 options. One of the headlines is true. And if you get it right, you'll be in for our Friday freebie draw.
Love that, Chase. We'll do it again in an hour.
See you then.
The Ocean's 11 prequel just added more names to its roster. Vicky Krieps and George Mackay are among the cast, joining stars Bradley Cooper and Margot Robbie for the heist thriller. Cooper is also writing and directing the project, hitting theaters June 25th, 2027.
Tell your king we will never leave.
Coming off a successful 4th of July weekend at the box office, Young Washington is officially getting a sequel. Titled 1776, the film will continue the next chapter of George Washington's life and legacy. There's new music on the way from U2. The Irish Rockers are releasing a new single, Street of Dreams, today. The song will appear on their upcoming album, expected out later this year.
John, I want to introduce you to Carolyn Bessette.
And Sarah Pidgeon, the star of Love Story, John F. Kennedy Jr., and Carolyn Bessette, is 30 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Armando Garcia, ABC News.
And then there's 9.
Well, here's a travel experience unlike anything else. This miniature sightseeing train in China takes visitors through lotus-filled ponds. The train travels along a 1-kilometer track, giving tourists a unique perspective.
Video so nice, we showed it to you twice. Hey, listen, let's turn our attention to the World Cup. Sights and sounds are now being turned into songs.
After review, number 10, Paraguay, cover his mouth. Decision is red card.
Composer decided that the referees were so charged up, it was like a techno song. So he's like, why not build one?
I'm not into EDM, the electronic dance music.
For working out.
Okay.
It's for working out. It's a good beat. You can ride your bike to it.
It sounds like
you can ride your bike home from my office to it.
Songs.
No, you know what? I actually, when I work out, I listen to very slow, sad music.
What?
And producer Nathan was like, why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
I listened to Noah Kahan's whole new album, and he said, put on something with a beat.
Nothing inspires me like that. Or like bringing mom to the club.
Show you off. Tonight I wanna show you off.
Mom decided to live life like her daughter just once. And she had the time of her life.
Heck yeah.
My mom would do this.
Yeah.
She fits right in.
Shout out, Mickey.
That's great.
Time out. We got your headlines right after this.
Hit them up. Excellent energy. Everybody's...
It's Tuesday, July 7th. Prime Minister Mark Carney has arrived in Turkey for a NATO summit aimed at showcasing defense spending to the U.S. president.
Canada has selected TKMS as the preferred supplier for Canada's patrol submarine project.
Winning bid, a German company to build Canada's new submarine fleet.
That falls for Lukaku, and he will find the net.
The U.S. out of the World Cup at the hands of Belgium. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Tuesday.
That is going to be one of the most talked about soccer games because of all the controversy surrounding it and the fact that they lost 4-1, just like heavy-handed. And then they tweeted right after the game and said, overturn this.
Yes.
Very cheeky.
Yeah, very cheeky. But also, as somebody that has not been watching the games, I watched a Canada game or two. Now that they're out, I'm like, I don't really care. But when is it over?
The 19th, I think it is. I also learned yesterday I'm not in last in CFL fantasy football anymore.
You are not in last.
Where are you, second?
Anymore. I'm still in fourth. Right down the middle. Not so bad. I'm good with mediocre.
Well, your quarterback's leg fell off, so we'll see how you do. 7:01, let's get to news. And we begin with the latest on the province's wildfire situation. Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency lists 65 active wildfires burning in Saskatchewan, all of those north of Prince Albert. 6 of the wildfires are not contained, while 44 are listed as ongoing assessment. The SPSA says they're trying a different approach to get ahead of the situation.
Also been engaging with communities a lot sooner than normal protocols would be. So sharing media information, social media, engaging with the communities, with having representatives at the community level.
There have been 214 wildfires in Saskatchewan this year. That number last year at this time was 357. Wildfire isn't the only concern in the province. There are 10 flooding incidents right now. Roads and streets in east central Saskatchewan continue to be impacted by major flooding in Kamsack, Norquay, and Cote First Nation. The community says they've reached out to Indigenous Services Canada and other provincial resources for support.
It's really a big help, because we don't have the resources to buy the culverts, the grid road, the gravel, and whatever is required to put the roads back into operation.
The chief is encouraged by the way people in the community have come together. Researchers have now confirmed not 1 but 2 tornadoes touched down in the Pelly area during that storm on June 28th. The first touched down near Badgerville around 5:30 p.m. and tracked 22 kilometers before ending west of Pelly. It damaged homes, barns, power lines, and trees along the way. Experts say that was an EF2. They're, of course, measured by how much they chew up. Wind speeds maxed out at about 195 km in that storm. Then the second one, just south of the community, rated an EF1 with max speeds at 155. It happened about a half hour later, damaging trees and several homes. Experts say it traveled just under 3.5 km. The Northern Tornadoes Project also confirming 5 other tornadoes elsewhere in the province last week. June 29th in Elrose, an EF0. Then on July 2nd near Kindersley, another EF0, followed by an EF1 near Denzel the same night. Finally, on July 3rd, 2 EF0 tornadoes near Springwater and Edam. No injuries reported in any of the storms, but in Denzel, the EF0 did damage a farmyard and sent a semi-trailer tumbling. With all of these last week's storms accounted for, that brings the total this year so far to 15 tornadoes, in addition to 3 downbursts. City of Saskatoon warning people about the South Saskatchewan again. Jeremy Dodge.
Yeah, Daryl, fast-moving water has torn loose critical safety buoys near the weir again. And as crews work to replace them, officials say the river remains extremely dangerous. Carla Shinkarek has the latest.
Fast-moving water once again dislodged the safety buoys between the University Bridge and the weir. One more sign of just how powerful the South Saskatchewan River is right now, thanks to rainfall in Alberta.
The City of Saskatoon seeing about that 0.8 meter increase in river levels. So certainly it has gone up.
City crews are working to safely reinstall the buoys, but it's urging everyone to stay away from the river. For this resident who walks along here daily, the warning just makes sense.
I look at it and it's obviously running very fast and river levels going up and the buoys are either there or they're broken.
The warning goes beyond boating or paddling. Officials also asking people not to swim, float, fish from the shore, or even get too close to the riverbank. Most boat launches are currently closed. Even with that, fire crews retrieved an empty boat out of the water on Saturday. The owner was located safe later. Then on Sunday, someone was rescued from Yorath Island, which is southwest of the city. So this is one of the signs that the city has put up to deter people from going near the river, but some we spoke to think more should be done.
There should be a lot more warnings, and they should even tell people to stay off of it, like police officers patrolling and tell them to stay off the water.
I think there should be a sign, some kind of, big signs that would warn, especially those who are visiting Saskatoon from other places about dangers.
The jet skier who died on June 20th was from Mexico. His body was recovered near Warman about 2 weeks later. Right now, river levels are more than 3 times higher than normal.
Approximately 700 cubic meters per second right now. Currently, we're operating the spillway, so that's kind of the large structure, and the gates are open there.
With river levels expected to be running high until July 25th. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
One person was sent to hospital over the weekend after a fire at a home. Firefighters called to the 1000 block of Hazen Street Saturday morning, about 2:30. They arrived to find heavy smoke inside the house. Homeowner was able to get out, call 911, but suffered smoke inhalation and was taken to hospital for care. An investigator will now work to determine the cause of the fire. Well, Daryl, the United States out of the World Cup, and they were humbled by Belgium.
Yeah, it just wasn't their night. A number of errors like you're about to see led to a 4-1 defeat.
Oh, Matt Freese could be in trouble here. The US could be in trouble here. It's a shocker of a goal from the co-host's point of view.
You may have heard there's a little bit of controversy entering this match. Americans' top scorer was supposed to be suspended after getting a red card in the round of 32. But the Belgians felt they needed to rub it in just a little extra yesterday, posting this online. Overturn this.
Ferran Torres, we might not need extra time.
Cristiano Ronaldo's World Cup career with Portugal came to a close last night after a 1-0 loss to Spain. He is the only player to appear in 6 World Cups. Ronaldo has scored 11 World Cup goals, but only 1 in the knockout stage. And that 1 goal came last week in Toronto against Croatia. As Portugal goes home, Spain will take on Belgium on Friday. After nearly a month of hosting duties and soccer celebrations, the final World Cup match in Canada will be held this afternoon in Vancouver. After weeks of packed streets, fan marches, and sold-out games, the city is getting ready for one last celebration as Switzerland takes on Colombia in the last of the round of 16. Before kickoff, both sets of supporters will take part in their now familiar fan marches to BC Place. Rogers has signed a deal to take full control of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. Rogers will pay $4.35 billion for a 25% stake owned by Kilmer Sports. This is the deal to buy out minority owner Larry Tannenbaum. Rogers holds a virtual monopoly on Toronto sports, controlling the Leafs, Jays, Raptors, TFC, and the Argos. The deal is expected to close by the end of the year. We turn our attention to the Weather Center and those beautiful temperatures as we approach Country Thunder weekend.
Absolutely beautiful. Morning View is brought to you by Stars Lottery. Your ticket funds life-saving care across Saskatchewan. Speaking of that warm-up, we're at 15 degrees already in Regina, so not a bad start to the day, especially with those low wind speeds. We are seeing a bit more of that cloud cover down south compared to central Saskatchewan this morning. Very beautiful, nice start to the day in Saskatoon at 15 degrees, very low winds and a whole lot of sunshine. So it's a great day to get outside. We have seen some very light rain coming up from the United States overnight. It has reached the very southernmost part of the province, and it is going to be sticking around into the afternoon hours, although it is a very small broken up system. So we're not talking about any substantial rainfall today. It could just be some very light spitting down south into the evening hours. We do see that lessening into the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. We do have a bit more of that rain coming into the province, but it's concentrating far up north. For the next couple days in the afternoons, we're talking about a lot of sunshine, but it's in the evening hours that we are seeing some more rain coming through, and we are talking about that coming with some thunderstorm activity as well. So mainly talking about this in Prince Albert and Saskatoon for tomorrow evening, and it does circle back to us Thursday evening as well. Again, though, afternoons are looking very sunny for the 7-day forecast. Today's forecast with the temperatures, though, we are seeing warmer temperatures towards central and northern Saskatchewan, 25 degrees for Saskatoon, Prince Albert, and 26 in the Battlefords, 24 for Yorkton. Down towards the south, cooler temperatures just barely below that seasonal average, but still fairly nice for a summer day. 21 in Swift Current, 22 in Moose Jaw, 21 in Weyburn, and 21 in Estevan. As you are seeing some more of that cloud cover down south, but as we did just mention, we could also be seeing some very light spitting throughout some parts of the day. It's not going to be impacting the whole day, though. 7-day forecast, as we said, very bright and sunny. 25 degrees on Wednesday and Thursday in Regina, 27 on Friday. The weekend, we could be breaking into those 30-degree temperatures, so it's going to be hot. 31 is what's currently being projected for Regina on Saturday and Sunday, 26 on Monday. In Saskatoon, as I mentioned, sunshine for the afternoons, but Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're seeing an increased risk of seeing some of those severe thunderstorms, so be prepared for that overnight. 26, though, for the afternoon tomorrow, 23 on Thursday, 25 on Friday. Weekend, not quite getting into those 30-degree temps, but it is going to be hot at 28 degrees. Time now for a look at our rural forecast. We're seeing nicer temperatures towards the north and central part of Saskatchewan today. 25 degrees in Meadow Lake, 24 in Spiritwood, and 25 degrees for Watrous and Outlook with a whole lot of sunshine on the way. Down in the south, we're seeing a higher chance of some very light precipitation today. 20 degrees in Assiniboia with that, 18 in Rockland, and 19 degrees in Coronach, 22 degrees in Broadview, and 21 degrees for Carlisle with that cloud cover. Let's take a look at Manor, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from Sask. 20 degrees this afternoon, mainly cloudy, and winds only coming in up to about 25 kilometers per hour.
We are speaking safety this morning as we head back out to Mike Siona on location in Prince Albert. Mike.
Well, when it comes to safety, there's one man that we know that is well versed in it. Is Lyle Karasuk. We've been hanging out with you here all morning at Parkland Ambulance in Prince Albert, and we're talking about driving and road safety because it may have been a few decades since maybe we took that driver's test at 16. You're holding that. It's not a license, it's a cell phone. But you're not allowed to hold that when you're driving, right?
No, you're not allowed to hold it. The law tells us that, and it comes with a significant penalty, if that. And thanks to law enforcement, those penalties get higher and higher every year because many of us still don't remember we're supposed to put this away, out of reach, and not use it. We have hands-free devices, and if it's that important, pull over, get into a parking lot, wherever you can, make those calls, do what you need to do. Put the device away.
Exactly. Great advice, and really save you some money. And it really is staggering how much of a distraction it can be. I certainly know, I recall when they made that change and then you go to a different jurisdiction and boy, it's, yeah, we won't drone on and on about that because we do also want to talk about car seat safety because that's equally important and could also be more impactful.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. And as our children grow, you've got some young ones at home, and as they grow, they go through various stages of car seats, from the small little totes that you see mums and dads carrying to the bigger ones where we bring the kid out and buckle them in. Just be mindful, a couple things with car seats. One, is the car seat in properly? Read the label, follow the instructions, and make sure it is. And use it properly. We need to make sure that children to a certain age within the province of Saskatchewan, and it may vary. So if you're headed out this summer on the roads, heading to grandma's house, let's say in Alberta, make sure you understand that the rules here might be a little different than the rules are there. And use it properly. But most importantly, it's using the device. We see so often our paramedics will pull up at a stop sign and a kid's bouncing in the back seat. Well, it's not a trampoline back there.
Right.
Somebody just didn't buckle them in or doesn't have a car seat. And those are so important, as is all the rest of the stuff. The groceries, the dogs, the equipment, whatever we have in our car, that all needs to be secured as well.
There you go. All right, we'll be back with Lyle one more time this morning.
Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for it, we head to Hamilton, Ontario, and the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Canada taking on Jamaica. Canada up big. Andrew Nemhard goes behind the back to Leonard Miller. He finds Jackson Rowe for the slam. Just beautiful ball movement by the Canadians. They're through to the next round of qualifying, and it's no surprise when the team is making plays like this, earning the must-see moment from Monday. And today on TSN, our coverage of the FIFA World Cup continues. The final two round of 16 matches. First, Lionel Messi and Argentina take on Egypt at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Then from Vancouver, Switzerland faces Colombia at 4 p.m. Eastern. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
devotees to Greek polytheism. I know there's several out there.
There's so many of us.
I can name
both of you
4 off the top of my head. Have gathered at the foot of Mount Olympus for an annual festival. Tens of people. Olympus is, of course, the home of the Greek gods. They held a number of traditional ceremonies in an effort to preserve ancient Greek history. It all concluded with theatrical performances, dances, and celebrations held in the forests around the mountain, keeping some tradition alive.
One of my party tricks is that I can say the whole Greek alphabet.
Oh.
I can do that.
Why?
How many characters?
I've never counted, but I can say it.
Start.
Well, I'm not going to do it live on It's going to take too much time. I'll do it in a commercial break.
Oh,
sure.
How convenient.
Oh.
Okay, all the viewers are about to get so upset because I'm going to start it. No, I'm not going to do it.
Okay. then let's get to our question of the day, which is, what is one thing you've never done? For me, it's that. I've never... I've never done that, but people cannot believe that you've never done this thing because your husband has never apparently ever booked a flight in his adult life.
Yeah, my husband said that his parents used to book his flights, and then he became an adult. He met me. I've been booking our flights ever since, and he's never had to book a flight. We had Dorothy saying she's never eaten a dill pickle.
Okay.
That's wild.
Director Corey has never had a lot of different foods, so this is not.
Michelle's saying she's never gone skydiving, me either, and I don't ever plan on it.
Never had a Big Mac either. Okay.
I've also never had a Big Mac.
All right.
Yeah, never had that. Lori's saying I've never had poutine.
I've had a poutine, but it was bolognese instead of gravy because I'm not a gravy guy, which
okay.
both of you are about to get all over me.
No, I think that's okay.
Not a gravy guy.
Yeah, see, here it is.
I had never had poutine until I started working here.
I got one for you. I've never had coffee, ever.
You've never had coffee?
Once I've never
You've
once.
never even tried
Never
it?
once tried it, never had it, ever.
What?
There you go.
Okay,
You know this.
But, well, no, I know that you don't like coffee. You've always said you don't like it. I didn't know that you've never even tried it.
No, it stunts your growth.
How do you know if you don't like it?
It stunts your growth. I'm trying to be in the NBA here.
Oh my God! I don't.
At 6'1", I got like
good luck.
8 or 7 inches to go.
So today I've learned that neither of you have ever seen The Breakfast Club. You've never tried coffee.
Yeah, see, we're learning.
I've never had a Big Mac.
This is personal growth.
This is crazy. Okay, tell us, if you're watching right now, what's that one thing you've never done, but people just can't believe it? There's some potential for some really fun answers today.
Yeah. Samsung's quarterly profit surged 19-fold. So what did investors do? Cashed out on a nearly 150% rally this year that had baked in the AI-fueled growth. But it wasn't enough. His shares slid more than 10% in Seoul, leading a plunge in the benchmark Kospi that triggered a brief circuit breaker. Earnings by the world's largest memory maker are in the spotlight as investors seek to justify sky-high investments and valuations around AI. A new survey shows trade tensions have some Canadian manufacturers deciding to move production south of the border or delay capital investments. KPMG Canada says that 42% of Canadian manufacturing companies indicated they have or are considering moving production to the United States. Of those thinking of relocating, 77% expect to make the transition within the next 2 years. And the company behind Crown Royal Whiskey says it has agreed to sell its bottling plant in southern Ontario to an unnamed buyer. The facility in Amherstburg, a historic town along the Canada-U.S. border, was put up for sale after Diageo announced its closure, effectively cutting about 200 jobs. Ontario Premier Doug Ford, in response, threatened to pull Crown Royal from liquor store shelves, though he backed down after Diageo agreed to $23 million in spending in the province. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
All right, markers up. Time for our morning mystery. It is a country again. This country, this time, is home to the world's highest coastal mountain range. One of the most biodiverse countries on the planet, featuring more than 9,100 animal species. And clue number 3, it's also the world's second largest exporter of a drink I don't ever have, coffee, producing about 8% of the world's supply. Answers down, please.
Oh,
Think of who's playing in the World Cup today.
Don't give it to him like that.
We did look up who's playing in the World Cup today.
Did. Which
I did not.
The
so
two of
you
us
have an advantage?
We have Colombia on our boards. What did you write on your board?
Yeah, Brazil got beat, right? Yeah, okay.
Brazil is his answer. What have we got on the, there it is, Colombia.
Hey, but do I get points because I spelled it right and you didn't?
Did I not?
Yeah.
Oh. Daryl, that's not what it is, Daryl. Sorry.
let me just finish the loop there. Sorry.
Don't come back to camera.
All right, that's today's morning mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Time now for a look at our school day forecast. It's brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina or Saskatoon, we are now at 15 degrees, just a little bit more of that sunshine through Saskatoon to start the day. Lunchtime in Regina, 22, a little bit warmer than that by lunch in Saskatoon, 23 degrees, and warming up by final bell to 23 in Regina and 25 in Saskatoon. Enjoy all that sunshine today. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices. Our average price in Regina is still $159.9. You might be able to find it for as low as $144.9 today. In Saskatoon, $155.9 is your average today. That is down, and you might be able to find it for as low as $151.9. In the farm markets today, we find the street price of canola at $705.25 per ton. The futures price, $757.20 per ton. Amber durum wheat now at $285.20 per ton, and red spring wheat $285.22 per ton. And the Canadian dollar trending down today. It's now at 70.33 cents US. Coming up, a Regina daycare was referenced in an NDP letter to Ottawa without their knowledge. Stay with us for the details.
Good morning. Thank you for being with us. My name is Daryl. NATO leaders, including Prime Minister Mark Carney, are meeting in Ankara for a crucial summit of NATO leaders, with the war in Ukraine and the conflict in the Middle East likely to dominate much of discussion. The Prime Minister arrived in the Turkish capital earlier today. NATO is showcasing a number of military projects worth billions of dollars in an attempt to persuade the U.S. president that the U.S. allies are turning defense spending promises into real firepower.
Today, several allies are announcing the joint procurement of up to 10 Saab Global Eye aircraft.
NATO this morning formally announcing talks to buy up to 10 Global Eye surveillance planes. This is the platform that combines a surveillance system built by Saab with jets built by Bombardier. Canada is also in talks to buy the system. NATO is choosing the Global Eye over its existing U.S.-based Boeing fleet. NATO also announced another deal this morning to buy drones from a U.S. company. Canada has selected a German company to build its next fleet of submarines.
The submarine is proven and capable. It's widely used by our allies.
Prime Minister Mark Carney saying the NATO connection with Germany was the difference maker in choosing the company TKMS over the South Korea bid. Canada is replacing 4 Victoria-class subs we currently have. Only one of those is operational at the moment. The new subs are still years away. Officials say 4 of them will be delivered by 2034. Canada's contract with TKMS is expected to be worth about $100 billion over its 30 to 50-year lifespan. Environmental advocates are calling on the province to stop its nuclear power plans and consider more affordable ways of generating power. The Saskatchewan Environmental Society and the Coalition for a Clean, Green Saskatchewan say recent nuclear power projects around the world are going over budget and taking far longer to build than originally estimated. The groups say the other options like renewable energy, battery storage, conservation, and efficiency improvements should be considered at a fraction of the cost. The groups worry not only about the environmental impact, but say Sask Power's current path could deplete resources.
It takes much too long to build. It comes with long-term environmental and health risks. Opting for nuclear power is going to bury Sask Power in debt, drive electricity rates up sharply, and put Sask Power in danger of bankruptcy.
Alberta Premier Danielle Smith and Ontario Premier Doug Ford are pitching an oil pipeline to bring crude from Hardisty, Alberta to Sarnia, Ontario.
By connecting Alberta's energy with Canadian refineries and European markets, we can create jobs, grow our economy, and make the most out of the world-class resources that we've been blessed with.
Now, they've dubbed it the Northern Shield Energy Corridor. The crude would be brought to refineries in factories in Ontario. It stems from an agreement between Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Ontario. The pipeline says they're proposing about 500,000 barrels of oil to start per day, with the potential to expand to 800,000. Smith and Ford say they'd like to see private sector proponent, but they are prepared to go ahead without one. That would mean taxpayers would be on the hook for a large part of the cost, whatever that may be. A Regina daycare is clarifying its stance on recently implemented changes to the funding model for $10 a day childcare in Saskatchewan after it was surprised to get called out by the provincial NDP in a letter to Ottawa. Donovan Mace reports.
Regina YMCA CEO Steve Compton says it was a surprise when he learned a letter he sent to parents ended up in a message from the Saskatchewan NDP to the federal government.
We were referred to it directly in a couple of paragraphs of that. Although it wasn't an intent to co-author, we were called out directly based on our most recent fees.
It comes just days after the daycare notified parents of incoming additional fees coming in under the new $10 a day daycare agreement the province signed with Ottawa to help centers keep up with rising costs. Starting this fall, the YMCA is establishing a $75 per month fundraising fee, a $15 per month administration fee, and an annual $125 enrollment fee.
With our particular financial position, not speaking for other operators, it was something we needed to do.
Last week, the Saskatchewan NDP called on Ottawa to investigate whether changes related to part-time and casual funding models align with the agreement. But Compton says the YMCA was neither consulted nor notified about the letter's use by the NDP.
We know this is a government-funded program, both nationally and provincially. It wasn't a political announcement on our end.
It was on social media.
The NDP says they ran with the letter from the Y after multiple parents and social media posts highlighted concerns.
We're reporting what's already been public already. The fees are going to go up, and that's hard for people to be able to manage.
Now, while this letter was not meant to be political, the Y says it continues to advocate for families and take their concerns to the ministry, sharing their child care experience and challenges with the province as this daycare program continues to evolve into the future. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Police in Regina investigating after a school was vandalized. It happened at Judge Bryan School in the East End. Regina Public Schools says it's aware of the vandalism and facility crews will be working to clean up the spray paint. Police also have been notified. School is now, of course, out for the summer. Astronaut Jeremy Hansen, who went on an historic mission around the moon in April, is leaving the Canadian Space Agency. The agency says Hansen will be pursuing new professional opportunities beginning in September, but will continue to serve as a reservist with the Royal Canadian Air Force. Hansen's work on the Artemis II mission united Canadians and showcased Canada's role in space exploration on the world stage. Let's get over to the Weather Center. Join Kaylee and Sawatsky. Country Thunder weekend. We're heading into the 30s.
Yeah, we are heading into the 30s. It is going to be a very hot weekend at Country Thunder, so you are definitely going to want to prep those hats. You're going to want to be prepared to stay hydrated. Definitely take breaks inside because, again, that heat can be dangerous. Today, we're not going to exactly be hot. It's going to be a very mild summer day in Regina, a little bit warmer through Saskatoon, though. 15 to wake you up in Regina. Winds are very, very calm to start the day. A little bit more of that cloud cover down south compared to up near Saskatoon. A very nice start to the day, though, with those calm winds and at 15 degrees. I highly recommend getting outside and enjoying this beautiful start to the day. Winds are going to remain low across the board today. We are seeing a little bit more as we look towards the west, that blue color that's seeping in from Alberta, but it does lessen into the afternoon hours. So overall, it's going to be a great day. Current temperatures now, we are seeing that warm up. It was only about an hour ago that Stony Rapids was sitting at 6 degrees. Now they have bumped up to double digits, 11 degrees to be exact, 16 in La Ronge, 17 already in Nipawin, and 16 degrees in Melfort. Down in the south, 15 degrees in Swift Current, 11 in Moose Jaw, 17 in Yorkton, and 15 in Estevan. Today's forecast into the afternoon, we are seeing more of the warmth concentrating in the north and central zones. 26 degrees in the Battlefords, 25 for Prince Albert and Saskatoon, and 23 in Yorkton, 23 as well for Regina. Then farther down towards the south, temperatures below the seasonal average, 21 in Weyburn, Estevan, and Swift Current, and 22 in Moose Jaw. You do see more of the cloud cover icons down there as well, and we also do have a chance of seeing some very light rain. Your 7-day forecast, though, looking beautiful. 25 degrees tomorrow and on Thursday, 27 on Friday, nothing but sunshine expected. 31 degrees on Saturday and Sunday, and 26 degrees by Monday. We do have a chance of seeing some thunderstorm activity, but it's mainly in the evening hours on Wednesday and Thursday. Our Country Thunder weekend should be safe from that, but we'll keep you updated on how that changes. In Saskatoon, also seeing the risk of some thunderstorms in the evenings. This includes Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Again, though, that's concentrated later on in the day. The afternoons are looking very bright and sunny. 26 tomorrow, 23 on Thursday, 25 on Friday. The sun really coming out on Saturday, 28 degrees. A bit more of that cloud cover on Sunday, though. Still seeing 28 degrees and 24 by Monday.
The incident happened on May the 28th, 2026 at around 5:20 in the morning on the 2100 block of Pasqua Street. A man and woman entered a store. The woman distracted an employee while the man proceeded to steal several $1,000s worth of merchandise. Both the man and woman appear to have been at that location before. They knew where the surveillance cameras were and also where the product was they were trying to steal. Suspect number 1 is described as a woman with blonde hair in a ponytail wearing glasses, a Six Silk brand blue, white, and black hooded sweatshirt, and tight-fitting black shorts. Suspect number 2 is described as a man wearing a black ball cap under a gray hood obscuring the view of his face. He's wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt with a Browning logo on the left chest, black pants, and gray runners. If you know who one of these 2 suspects are, call Crime Stoppers.
I'm Constable Dana Adams with the Regina Police Service. Crime Stoppers will pay up to $2,000 cash reward for information on this or any other serious crime in Regina. Callers do not have to identify themselves. Calls are not traced or recorded. In Regina, Saskatchewan, and Canada, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. You can also access our website at www.reginacrimestoppers.ca. Remember, our community suffers when you remain silent. Please report crime.
Crime Stoppers is brought to you by Leak Audiology, helping you live well with better hearing.
Time to meet our pet of the week over at the Regina Humane Society with Bill Thorne. Bill, good morning, and who do you have?
Well, this morning I've got a fine gentleman here. This is Arlo. Yes, he says hello. And he's about 10 weeks old or so. He's already had his neuter surgery, so he's ready to go home. Really playful, too. He's just been having a ball sitting here. And I've tried putting him on the floor, and he was having none of it. He wanted to be up on my lap playing and exploring and playing with the microphone and my name tag and all kinds of things. So this guy is going to be entertainment galore for sure, and he's one of many kittens and cats that we have on hand right now, as well as dogs and puppies, too. So to help move that along, we've reduced our adoption fees for the next little bit, down to $25 for adult and junior dogs and cats, and $75 for kittens and puppies. So if you've been thinking about it, now's a great time to pay us a visit.
And you said inventory is high right now?
Yeah, well, it is that time of year. We get very, very busy. It's been a little delayed because we had such a cool spring. Normally, we would see an influx come in late May and early June. This year, it was kind of late June, early July. But yeah, we've been pretty full, so we're trying to get these guys home.
All right, Friends for Life lottery is still going on. How can people participate?
Well, we do get a lot of animals in, as we just talked about, and fundraisers like our Friends for Life really do help us look after guys like Arlo here. You can win up to win $10,000, and our grand prize, there's over $21,000 of cash prizes available in that lottery. Early bird is, I believe, August 6th. You got to get your ticket by, and we do the main draw in early September.
We're now officially into summer as well, which means summer camps. Are there any spots left?
Yeah, we do have a few. We've got our first week of camp is going this week. and it's full, but we do have some available spots for our 10 to 12-year-old camps, which run from the week of July 20th and the week of August 17th. So there's a few spots there. Again, that's for 10 to 12-year-olds. Great week, packed full of all kinds of great activities, fun games. You learn about animals, you learn about the Humane Society, and so far the response has been very, very good. So we do encourage you to try and snag up those last few spots.
Before I let you go, I do want to mention there is a whole lot of road closures over by the Regina Humane Society right now. We know that Louvain and Parliament, there's a lot of construction happening there right now. Regina Humane Society, though, you are open with regular hours. How can we navigate all that and get there?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, patience is the key there. It affects my commute to work. I live up in the northwest. I've been coming down on the bypass and coming in on the west side of Parliament. But yeah, I think it's going to change every day. So just leave yourself some extra time if you're coming to see us. It is going to be a bit challenging, but we are open. You can get here, and we'll be happy to see you when you do.
Great. Thanks so much, Bill. And Arlo, we hope you find your forever home. Again, the Regina Humane Society has reduced fees right now. They have lots of adorable cats, kittens, puppies. Head on over to reginahumanesociety.ca and see what they have to offer.
Can't wait to see you. Thanks.
Here's what's happening in our community. 2026 MSI computer camps are happening July 6th through 10th, starting at 8 a.m. in the University of Regina's classroom building. Visit compcamps.com. A community market is on July 10th, 8:45 a.m. at 701 Park Avenue in Esterhazy. Email reneeanderson76@gmail.com. The Capel Valley Art Show and Sale is on July 11th, 10 a.m. at the Sacred Heart Roman Catholic Church in LeBret. Call 306-529-2144. And Drop Zone is on August 22nd. Raise funds to support Easter Seals Saskatchewan. Spots are limited. Register now at dropzoneyqr.ca. Submit your event to our community by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca, and click Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen.
Halloween might still be months away, but the Queen City's past is coming alive through fascinating historic walking tours. Let's head back to Janelle Lippi, learning more at the Regina Cemetery Tours.
Good morning. I'm joined once again by Kenton. We're here for the Regina Cemetery Tours. Now, Kenton, this month is all things pandemic, and right beside us is a headstone that really fits that theme. Tell me a little bit about it.
So this headstone belongs to Joseph Rogers. Joseph Rogers got smallpox back in 1927. Now, before him, for many years outside of our state limits, we had this place called the Pest House. It was a location people would go to kind of to stay quarantined, so they wouldn't pass on to other people. So he went to the Pest House in 27, he died in the Pest House. But a lot of people came and went to the Pest House over the previous 40 years. It was in the 60s when they finally tore it down, and that actually is just across the street from us at the Wholesale Club area is where it used to stand. So Joseph Rogers, he had one of the worst cases of smallpox in the city. Not a lot is known about how he got it or his condition, just that it was very, very bad, and of course he passed away from it. Smallpox ran through our city for many years. They often had to vaccinate entire schools or staff of buildings when it went through the system. So it was a big part of our city's history until about the 50s and 60s when it got a good vaccine and it went away. So it's a chapter of our life, of our history. We don't talk about it anymore really, but for a big time of our past, it was a big problem.
Mm-hmm. All right, so really interesting stuff here then, and that's just a small sneak peek as to what you can expect from the Regina Cemetery Tours here, especially this month. Now, a little bit off topic, but I'm so interested in discussing this with you, Kenton. That way, you can't really see much. There's not a ton for headstones, but there are people buried there. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Oh, there's a whole bunch of people buried there. So there's about 488 people buried in that area. Some of them, about a quarter of them are children. Some of them are people who died during childbirth. Some of them are Spanish flu victims. But about a dozen of them are people who were executed at the Regina Gallows. So we have some big profile murder cases of the murderers are buried there. It's a really cool area because it seems like there's nothing there. There's maybe 4 or 5 headstones, but there's actually 400 and some people. So everyone is an incredible story. Some of them more documented than others, but all very interesting stories to talk about.
All right, Kenton. Well, thank you so much for all of this. Once again, this is that little preview that you can expect from the Regina Cemetery tours, and those have begun.
Very cool. Janelle, thank you so much. We'll see you again in just a little while.
It's July 7th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Lakin. She's turning 7 years old today. We hope you have an amazing day with lots of love from your family. And we're also celebrating an anniversary today. Congratulations to Ryan and Diane on 19 years of marriage. We hope your anniversary is super special.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
All right, who are you most excited to see this weekend at Country Thunder besides me and Kaylee?
Oh, that was my answer. Now I got to think. Probably Cameron Wickham. He's the one that I've been just dying to see. Haven't seen him before, too. It's going to be so good. Another guy, though, Gavin Adcock, he's going to be playing the Friday right before Riley Green, and he is featured today in our Country Minute because of the antics that went on in his show last weekend. We'll get you all the details. It wasn't so much what was happening on stage, but in the crowd that is making some headlines. We'll also tell you which country artist is giving us a full acoustic album. They've just jumped into the studio. I think this is something every artist should be doing for us. And how are you beating the heat? We do have those 30-degree temperatures on the way. Well, the ultra-wealthy are doing snow rooms now. These are rooms that will actually like snow inside of their house. We'll let you know how much one of those will cost. You're better off probably just waiting for real winter.
My little guy, Mateo, is super excited to see Cameron Wickham sing Kingdom of Fear. So if you hear a little guy in the tent, that's him.
That's him and you.
Ella Langley's Choosing Texas is #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for a 12th week. Billboard says that's a record for a female country act. Jackass star Johnny Knoxville has his next project. Tiny Fugitives is described as an irreverent comedy about a group of 12-year-old kids who hatch a plan to spend the rest of their lives at sleepaway camp. Knoxville plays a demented camp counselor out to stop them. Tiny Fugitives is due in theaters September 18th. Sam Raimi's The Evil Dead is back. Sony Pictures Home Entertainment has re-released the cult classic on 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray to mark the supernatural horror flick's 45th anniversary. Watching with the lights on in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Sidebar begins with a dad who is just ready to party. Caption reads, I had no hope in being nonchalant when my dad is this guy.
Oh my goodness.
He's having the time of his life.
This is my
Good for
dream.
him.
I want to be a parent at this age and just doing shenanigans like this.
I love shenanigans.
Embarrassing my kid.
Stops you.
That's true. That is true. Just fear and common sense holding you back. Let's turn some World Cup sounds into songs.
After review, number 10, Paraguay, cover his mouth. Decision is red card. Decision is red card.
The ref is pretty intense, kind of like good EDM mixer in there. So
I'm not a raver.
Not a raver? You could be.
If I tried harder.
Fire it up.
Why not?
Get after it.
I don't love the EDM music. It's not my style.
It's not your jam?
Yeah.
Well, worked for this fella. Worked for that guy.
All right, let's talk about bringing your mom to the club.
Show you off. Tonight I wanna show you off. What you got.
I like the caption. It says, bringing my mom to the club because she's just a girl, too. She's just a girl that wants to have fun.
I love that she's doing all of the things that the young girls are doing. Like all the poses, the setup.
Yeah.
Why not?
I know I have said to my mom before when I go home, I've said, oh, some girlfriends and I are going out, and she'll be like, am I invited? Can I come?
Invited? Am I babysitting? What is happening?
Why not?
Not a regular mom. She's a cool mom.
Time out. Back after this. It's 8 o'clock, Tuesday, July 7th.
And they agreed to ramp up defense production and innovation.
Defense deals are being announced one after another this morning as Prime Minister Mark Carney and NATO leaders gather in Turkey.
Also been engaging with communities a lot sooner than normal protocols would be. So sharing media information, social media, engaging with the communities, with having representatives at the community level.
The SPSA taking different approaches to tackling wildfire season.
We were just getting our feet on the ground from the flood in the basement. We got the basement all cleaned up, and now we got hit with hail.
Preparing for the worst, cleanup after another round of severe storms continues. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Tuesday.
Big exciting weekend. We've got the Country Thunder Saskatchewan, of course, happening. It starts on, I think, Thursday night. You can start pulling your trailers in. Friday, the main stage starts. And then in the middle of all that, there's a Hot Wheels-themed Rough Rider game.
Oh, okay.
So you're everybody's favorite right now because you're delivering 30s for these things.
30-degree temperatures. I don't know. I'm not my own favorite because I don't like the extreme heat. So I'm seeing it. I'm going inside day,
well,
AC.
And it depends which side of the stadium you sit on, because that one side of the stadium, that east side, you'll burn pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely. So sunscreen and hydration. One question for you, though. Yep. You asked Chase who he's excited to see this weekend. Who are you most excited to see?
Max McNown, who's on the show tomorrow.
Oh, interesting.
He's a fabulous artist. I think you'd like him. He's not too country.
All right,
you're not
show
a
me
huge
some of the
country
stuff.
person. You're not too much of a country person. Let's get to, speaking of things burning, fires in the province, the wildfire situation. The Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency says 65 active wildfires are burning in the province right now, all of those north of Prince Albert. 6 of those fires are not contained. 44 are ongoing assessment. The SPSA says they are trying a different approach to get ahead of the situation. Now, despite the return of sunny days, there are still a number of local states of emergency in Saskatchewan caused by flooding from last week's torrential rainfall. Sierra D'Souza Butts with the very latest.
Various roads to enter Cody First Nation, including Highway 8, are blocked off from excess water.
We just don't realize, the impact of what water can do and, how do you prepare for that?
The damage caused by flooding from recent rainfall over the past few weeks has also impacted people's homes.
Right now we have a crew there helping out at the sump pumps, to drain the basements and the crawl spaces that were affected.
The nation is one of 17 communities and RMs who have declared a state of emergency due to flooding in the province.
The agency is supporting multiple communities and rural areas with equipment, resources, including pumps, hoses, and sandbags.
Adding about 100 to 120 millimeters of rain was reported on roads between Kenora and Yorkton. The town of Kamsack putting out a large garbage container out for residents to drop off flood items and debris.
The number that we were provided from the administrator of the town was that approximately 70% of the basements had some sort of water damage, which is a very high number.
The government says it plans to continue engaging with impacted communities to find out what further supports are needed.
We're not only here to assist with any needs as the flooding's happening, but we'll be in constant communication with municipal leadership to ensure we're there for the cleanup effort.
In the meantime, Cody says he is thankful to see people in the community helping one another out through these difficult times.
It's really a big help, because we don't have the resources to buy the culverts, the grid road, the gravel, and whatever is required to put the roads back into operation.
Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
We're also talking a couple house fires, Jeremy.
Yeah, a couple to report in Saskatoon, Daryl. One person sent to a hospital over the weekend after a fire at a home. Firefighters called to the 1000 block of Hazen Street Saturday morning. About 2:30, they arrived to find heavy smoke inside the house. Homeowner was able to get out, call 911, but did suffer smoke inhalation and was taken to a hospital for care. An investigator is working to determine a cause. An investigation also been launched into a fire at a home in the 400 block of Greaves Crescent. Crews called just before noon, found smoke coming from the back of the house. Fire did not spread into the home and was extinguished quickly. Nobody was injured. Well, Daryl, a Regina greenhouse being hurt by a road closure at this busiest time of the year.
Yeah, not too far from where I sit right now. Access has been restricted to Sherwood Greenhouse, forcing customers to detour more than 7 kilometers. Repairs weren't expected until late August, but now a temporary fix is being tried. Wayne Mantica with that.
Sherwood Greenhouse has been hit hard by a service road closure along the Trans-Canada Highway just east of the city. An old wooden bridge inherited by the Regina bypass is failing and has been closed to traffic. Customers have to detour about 15 kilometers round trip.
In the first week, we were down to like 1 to 2 customers a day and lots of messages like roads closed, can't come to you, and we'll try again when the road's open.
The greenhouse has met with the Regina bypass and was told that a new culvert won't arrive until late August. The greenhouse is losing customers, forcing discounted prices.
So it is hurting our business, which we had to discount trees and shrubs by 25%, which is early this time of year. Usually we don't have sales until the fall. So it has impacted us significantly.
Detour signs have been erected along the Trans-Canada Highway, but it's still a little confusing.
It wasn't just let's stop in here. I had planned it, so I knew which way to go. Harder from Regina, for sure.
Sherwood Greenhouse has appealed for quicker repairs. The Regina bypass has consulted engineers, and materials are arriving for a temporary solution. The Regina bypass expects that a quick fix can be completed within days. Crews will then return in September to make permanent repairs. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
After a rainy start to the summer, the sun has made its return. As many people look to take advantage of the weather, Environment and Climate Change Canada says warmer, drier conditions could continue over the next several days. Stacey Hine reports.
After weeks of rain and gloomy weather, many Saskatchewan residents and visitors are taking advantage of the sunshine.
We like to play in the water to cool down and come and look at the river.
We love running around outside and playing in the splash parks and the paddling pools.
Among those enjoying the sun are visitors from Norway.
Yeah, we were a bit taken aback by tornado warnings because we're not quite used to that, but no, this is great.
One Saskatoon resident says it finally feels like summer is here.
Just as when you thought the weather is getting better, then it is rain, then it was kind of a roller coaster. But I think finally we are there.
For many, it's a welcome change after recent rainfall led to flooding in parts of the province. In June, Saskatoon recorded nearly 104 millimeters of rain, well above the monthly average of about 75 millimeters. Regina received about 147 millimeters of rain last month, above the 85 millimeter average. Environment Canada says an upper ridge is expected to develop, bringing warmer, drier weather.
We are expecting that to sort of develop probably into early next week. Still early, so we're going to have to keep our eye on it, but that often will mean warmer, drier conditions.
The forecast is also welcome news for the Sask Jazz Fest, with organizers saying the warmer weather is expected to boost walk-up ticket sales.
There's really two groups of people who are like, I love the Jazz Fest or I love the lineup and I'm going no matter what, and so they buy their tickets well in advance. And then we have those who are like, I am not into the rain and I'm going to wait until that day.
The festival runs through Saturday with a stretch of warm, sunny weather expected to continue into next week. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Country Thunder Saskatchewan is teaming up with the Regina Food Bank to feed families this summer.
We have a
those of you who have never been back there wouldn't know, but we have a tent backstage. It's called our hospitality tent. We're going to open it up to the public on Saturday night after Creed. We've got a bit of a concert going on. We've got a live auction. All the money we raise that night at the bar, it's all going to go towards the Regina Food Bank. So we're very excited about that. Everyone come out.
Following the Saturday night Creed set, as she said, guests will have a chance to bid on several live auction items. Organizers hoping to raise $100,000. You can stream the full conversation teeing up this weekend right now on our website. And this weekend's weather looks pretty good for all those outdoor events, Kayleen.
Pretty good, but also pretty hot. You're going to want to plan where you can get some breaks inside, in some shade, in some air conditioning. We are expecting to be in the 30-degree temps for our Country Thunder weekend. 16 degrees right now, though, to wake you up in Regina. A bit more cloud cover down south compared to central and northern Saskatchewan, but winds are calm. 18 degrees in Saskatoon with that sunshine to start your day. Again, very low wind speeds. Let's take a look at this radar and satellite, because we did see some rain coming up from the United States overnight and into early this morning. It is currently affecting some areas, again, far down south, right by the American border. Into the afternoon, we do see that system breaking up quite a bit. So it's not necessarily going to be any large rain accumulations. It's not going to be a large system, but it is going to be some very light spitting in some southern communities for the province. Into the evening hours, though, things are looking really clear today. It's actually starting Wednesday evening that we see some more of those thunderstorms coming in from Alberta. So areas around Prince Albert, Saskatoon, and even Swift Current, just be ready tomorrow evening for some of that thunderstorm activity. Could be reaching Regina by very early on Thursday morning and then returning for Thursday evening, again with more of that thunderstorm activity, but the afternoons are looking very clear and sunny. Today's forecast for those temperatures, looking around that average in northern and central Saskatchewan. A little bit cooler down south, though. 26 degrees for the Battlefords, 25 in Saskatoon and Prince Albert, 23 in Yorkton, 23 this afternoon for Regina, 22 in Moose Jaw, 21 in Swift Current, Weyburn, and Estevan. Again, you are seeing more of that cloud cover concentrating down south today, and that could come again with some very, very light precipitation. 7-day forecast looking very bright and sunny, but again, a warning that we could be seeing some overnight thunderstorm activity. Afternoons, though, 25 degrees on Wednesday, 25 on Thursday, 27 on Friday with that sunshine. And then we're looking forward to that weekend where we said it's going to be very hot. 31 now projected for Saturday, 31 on Sunday, 26 degrees by Monday in Saskatoon. Again, the potential of seeing some thunderstorms on Wednesday evening all the way through until Friday evening. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday evenings, afternoons looking clear. 26 on Wednesday, 23 on Thursday, 25 on Friday, and then the weekend not quite cracking into those 30-degree temperatures, but it is going to be hot and sunny. 28 degrees on Saturday and Sunday, 24 by Monday.
July 7, 2008, this day in history, the Juggins fossil cliffs in the Bay of Fundy were named a UNESCO World Heritage Site. July 7, 1928, the world's first loaves of sliced bread were sold at a bakery in Missouri. July 7, 1969, Canada adopted the Official Languages Act, making both English and French official languages.
In case you missed it, firefighters in Astoria, Oregon have gone viral after responding to an unusual call. They were tasked with rescuing a fawn from the roof of a house. Once they got it down, little one was seen being reunited with an adult deer. Local firefighters noted this is not something that happens every day, but they added if any humans did get stuck on a roof, they would also respond to them. How did it get up there?
That's my first question.
No word of that in this story.
That's my first question.
That is the most Bambi-looking fawn I've ever seen.
Really?
That looks like a cartoon from Disney come to life.
I'm so sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to get up there.
It's so frightened. Oh.
Something for us to fawn over this morning. Let's get to our question of the day.
So we're asking you today, what's that one thing that you've never done, but people can't believe it? Nelson Bird says, I've never put on a virtual reality headset yet.
No, okay.
Have you ever done that?
I think so.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had another one saying, I've never had a nosebleed.
Ever?
And
Not
I've
once.
never gotten a tattoo.
Tattoo's
the nosebleed
fine.
one
Nosebleed's
is crazy.
weird. Okay.
Yeah. Another answer, Steve from Saskatoon saying he's 57, has never had poutine or craft dinner.
Okay.
Wow.
Choices. Yeah, fair enough.
Lived in Regina all my life. I've never traveled east past Winnipeg.
Is that our camera person, Ashley?
No.
I don't think she's gone.
I don't think that was her, but so they didn't,
I think that's also
give
true.
a name.
I think that's also true for her.
We had Greg saying never had sardines. Me either, Greg.
Nope, no, don't want to. That seems fishy.
Andy saying I'm with Daryl. I've never had coffee. I'm
Never
a tea
once.
drinker.
Not a thing for me.
We
But
had
you've tried it, Angie. You've tried
Yeah, that's fair. I have not tried it. I don't like the smell.
Scott saying he's never gone to jail. That one's not
good.
quite surprising. I feel like most people haven't gone to jail, hopefully.
Please continue
Maybe
that
if we
trend,
knew
Scott.
Yeah, please.
Please, Scott, maintain that.
David, 55, and says he's never drank coffee either, so he's also with you, Daryl. And Donna saying she's never had the iced coffee drinks, which are my favorite.
Okay, well, there you can take Donna for one. She's fabulous. You'll enjoy her.
Pretty good.
Thank you for participating in our question of the day.
Cardiac patients, understandably, have a lot of concerns about surgery, and pain is a big one. But new techniques are showing excellent results while minimizing exposure to potentially addictive medications. Details now from Pauline Chan.
So first of all, we want to...
Heart surgeon Dr. Subodh Verma says fear of pain can sometimes be so great, patients hesitate at life-saving surgery.
And as a result of that, a number of people every year at our institution choose alternatives, i.e. either we won't have surgery or we'll have something else done, but don't open my chest.
They said you have severe blockages of the heart arteries and you will need surgery.
Back in 2024, Ernie Cole faced heart surgery and post-operative pain was a big fear.
My close friend told me that they wanted to die the first day after surgery. It was so painful.
Dr. Ahmed Ali says during surgery they must cut through the breastbone, which is later wired back together.
But there is still a little bit of degree of movement, and that causes a significant amount of pain. And the pain is usually managed with opioid medication.
Unlike the gases and other anesthetic medications available, opiates used to offer more reliable effects on things like blood pressure. But Ernie was part of a recent study testing the use of nerve blocks, a form of local anesthesia, in heart surgery.
The study looked at 340 patients over the past couple of years in Toronto, Halifax, Calgary, and Vancouver.
Quite frankly, it was amazing. Obviously I still had pain, but I woke up very easily from the anesthesia, and my family tells me I was very relaxed. I even smiled as I woke up.
Our local anesthetic technique has shown that we could provide the same degree of pain relief and reduce the opioid medication in the hospital significantly.
1 in 10 people who are exposed to opioids develop a dependency on the drug.
If cardiac surgery can be the first exposure for opioids for people, then heart surgeons also have the responsibility of finding solutions to limit that exposure.
Dr. Verma hopes their study will lead to new pain relief guidelines to reduce the use of opiates in heart surgeries across Canada and beyond. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
All right, let's say hello one last time to our Mike Siona, who is in the back of an ambulance this time. Mike.
Well, we're sitting here this morning with Lyle Karasik in the back of an ambulance, hoping that this ambulance can stay parked, because that means that everybody's doing everything right out there and they are safe. Lyle, when it comes to an ambulance or an emergency vehicle that's been dispatched, let's remind people what we're supposed to do if we're out driving and one of these blares up behind us.
Well, certainly the law tells us to pull to the right and to do so as safely and properly as you can. But as we know in some of our communities, you know, the city of Saskatoon, even in Prince Albert, we get gridlock. We got 3 lanes, 4 lanes of traffic, we got a freeway, we got all this stuff. And it's just like, what do I do? Where do I go? Try to do your best. Make sure you're signaling so the responding emergency vehicle, like an ambulance, knows that you're going to go right. Just don't suddenly veer off the road, so to speak, and cause another collision. At an intersection, if you're the first in line, you're going to need to pull forward and cut everybody else off. And so to give that opening so those emergency vehicle crews can go. Remember also, on the highway or even in a busy urban center, you got to slow to 60 when you're passing an ambulance, a fire truck, a police car, tow truck, and give them room to move. So pull over, give them a lane space, and slow to 60.
Yeah, that's so important. That's if they're in front of you. If they're behind you, we want to slow, get to the right, or just even having that awareness to look and check your mirrors to see, because sometimes in that gridlock, they might be actually telling you to go left or whatever, if that's the easiest path. And it's great to listen to your music, but you can't have it so loud that you're not hearing these vehicles.
Well, absolutely right. We want folks to, you know, we're coming to the seasons where we've got air conditioning and you got the music and you've got the distractions, maybe the kids, and you're late or you're thinking about trying to get to something and whatever's going on in your world. Try to limit those distractions. That's so important for us. And pay attention, like you said, Mike. The flashing red and blue lights of the ambulance behind you are going to indicate that there's something there. Move, follow those instructions. If it's a police car, fire truck, or whatever other emergency vehicle is there, follow their instructions and give us room to safely work. And it's nothing worse than just blocking us in.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Thank you very much, Lyle Karasuk at Parkland Ambulance.
Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for it, we head to Hamilton, Ontario, and the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Canada taking on Jamaica. Canada up big. Andrew Nemhard goes behind the back to Leonard Miller. He finds Jackson Rowe for the slam. Just beautiful ball movement by the Canadians. They're through to the next round of qualifying, and it's no surprise when the team is making plays like this, earning the must-see moment from Monday. And today on TSN, our coverage of the FIFA World Cup continues. The final 2 round of 16 matches. First, Lionel Messi and Argentina take on Egypt at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Then from Vancouver, Switzerland faces Colombia at 4 p.m. Eastern. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Well, supper starts here. Actually, it started at JB's Sausage, but they brought all the stuff to my house, so let's go, I say. Today we are joined by Dorothy Garrow, as we oft are, and we are talking all about marinades, dry rub marinades and wet marinades. Where do we start?
Well, sky's the limit. We have over 30 marinades in our store that range from sweet, spicy, savory, so you can really pick whatever you want. I'm a big fan of the dry shake-on seasoning use of it because I usually don't have my meat out of the freezer in time.
Yeah, a little foresight goes a long way,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
yeah.
So let's start with that then. Maybe we'll do the vegetables first because those ones are usually, like, you're not going to put corn into a wet rub, are you?
You can if you want. You could melt a little bit of butter with our butter garlic marinade and just let them sit for a few minutes before throwing them on the grill. I had picked honey dill for the potatoes. I'm a fan of like sweeter potatoes.
Nice.
But for the veggies, I like to turn up the heat a little bit. We have a Santa Fe marinade that has just a little bit of kick to it, so that's what I would shake on to my veggies. I prepped some chicken here. I did have it out of the freezer on time, so I did a wet marinade. I just added a little bit of water with our teriyaki roasted garlic. Nice. And that's a really nice, kind of like a meld between sweet and savory. But what I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to get you to throw on our Maui rib to your ribs tonight. Yeah.
Okay,
so
and then I just kind of give it a little shot here.
Yeah, as thick or as thin as you like. The nice thing about this one is that it is that little bit sweet, so when you're barbecuing your ribs, it'll caramelize up on the outside.
Okay.
And then it works in reverse too. If you wanted to throw them with some water and marinate them that way, that works too.
Nice. Now, with this, I'm guessing you don't need to hit it with salt or pepper or anything. Like, everything is pre-blended. That's it and ready to go?
Absolutely, that is it and ready to go. The only thing you might want to switch up is instead of mixing it with water, a couple of our marinades have a citrus feel to them, so you might want to use orange juice instead of water, or you could alternately try any beverage or juice, apple juice, or like whatever you want to kind of change up the flavor a little bit.
Gotcha. Now, in terms of the coverage there, how did I do? Too much? Too little? Good?
If it was me, I hit it really hard, and then I get in there with gloves and rub it in.
Yada, yada, yada. So we'll leave it at that for now. I would do it, full disclosure, slightly differently were it just me. And that's fine. But when we're showcasing things, we want to follow all of the rules. This is absolutely tremendous. You said, what, 31 different types of marinades?
Yep, absolutely.
And then, of course, if you don't want to go down the marinade road, you've got all sorts of the spices and the rubs and all that stuff that we continue to talk about.
Yes, always. Summertime is a big time for our shake-on seasonings, rubs, and all of our spices.
One-stop shop, Saskatoon, Regina. Check them out online, jbsausage.ca.
8:30, good morning. Thank you for being with us. NATO leaders, including the Prime Minister, are meeting in Turkey this morning for a crucial meeting of summit leaders, NATO leaders, with the war in Ukraine and the conflict in the Middle East likely to dominate discussion. The Prime Minister arrived in the Turkish capital earlier today. NATO is showcasing a number of military contracts worth billions of dollars in an attempt to persuade the U.S. president that the allies are turning defense spending promises into real firepower. News that Canada is in fact buying a fleet of submarines is raising hopes that it could transform in the economy. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth reports.
When he first heard about the contract for Canada's new submarine fleet, Ken Hansen says it was also a message from our country to the rest of the world.
We are serious and we are coming.
And Halifax will play a central role going forward. A retired commander with the Royal Canadian Navy, Hansen now works as a defense analyst and researcher. He says the rollout will be slow. It will take years before new submarines appear in Halifax Harbor.
The first thing people will see will be the infrastructure development.
To produce an expanded Navy footprint in a city that has a naval tradition going back almost 3 centuries. The new submarine contract is expected to create thousands of jobs. Hansen says many of them will likely be in Halifax.
This is fantastic economic news for the city. It reminds me of Edmonton when the oil boom started.
This announcement comes as Halifax is experiencing population growth and the shipbuilding industry has been busy producing Navy and Coast Guard vessels.
It's a good thing for Halifax. I think it puts us back on that map.
University professor Ed McHugh worked for 25 years with the Nova Scotia Community College. McHugh says building the new fleet of submarines will require an influx of workers. He expects young people in this area to pursue skilled trades programs.
If I was looking ahead and predicting where I could get a job and stay in Atlantic Canada, I'd certainly have a real hard look at some of the trades courses.
There are questions about where a new submarine facility will be built. Halifax's shoreline is already crowded with Navy ships and buildings, which means other locations on both sides of the harbor will need to be considered. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
Air Canada is scaling back more flights to the U.S. The airline will stop or delay 8 U.S.-bound flights starting this fall. Routes affected include flights to New York, Florida, and the Midwest. The schedule change comes as the airline deals with high fuel prices and lower demand for trips to the U.S. Environmental advocates are calling for the province to stop its nuclear power plans and consider more affordable ways of generating power. It comes as the federal government looks to get the entire country on board with a nuclear energy future.
The Saskatchewan Environmental Society and the Coalition for a Clean Green Saskatchewan say recent nuclear power projects across the world are going over budget and taking far longer to build than originally estimated, and that's reason enough to pause our nuclear plans.
Opting for nuclear power is going to bury SaskPower in debt. drive electricity rates up sharply, and put Sask Power in danger of bankruptcy.
Sask Power plans to make a decision on whether or not to invest into nuclear technology in 2029. It has 2 sites in mind near Estevan, where a small modular reactor would go to generate 300 megawatts of power for up to 300,000 homes all year long. These groups say other options like solar or wind energy, battery storage, conservation, and efficiency improvements should be considered instead at a fraction of the cost.
I think the best thing that Saskatchewan could do is just to revert back to existing known technologies and make a transformation that way.
Sask Power says understanding and evaluating this cost and risks is an important part of developing the supply option for Saskatchewan. Based on feasibility work done to date, SMRs have the potential to be a competitive option. This comes as the federal government plans to enable the construction of 10 nuclear reactors in the next 15 years.
If our goal is to double our grid and reach net zero by 2050, there is no credible plan for Canada to do that without nuclear energy.
As Preble and Halliday worry Sask Power's current path could deplete the Crown Corporation, the province is ready for the opportunity.
There's a lot in this country that pushes us apart, and I say that being from Western Canada. Nuclear is an area that really we can bring the country together.
Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
3 words for this weekend: hot, hot, hot.
Yeah, it's going to be into the 30-degree temps for some parts of southern Saskatchewan over the weekend, not so much through central Saskatchewan, but we'll take a look at that in just a moment here. It is a warm start to the day. We're already at 16 degrees in Regina. Winds are fairly calm, currently coming in at 9 kilometers per hour. A little bit more of that cloud cover down through Regina compared to Saskatoon this morning, where we're seeing a whole lot of sunshine, and it's already at 18 degrees. What a beautiful start to the day. Winds very calm, only coming in right now at 4 kilometers per hour. And into the afternoon, we're not really talking about too much when it comes to the winds or any of those gusts. We do see a little bit of that blue color seeping in from Alberta, but overall, we're not really seeing any winds surpassing 30 kilometers per hour today. So that's nice to see. Current temperatures across the province, we're seeing 19 degrees already in La Ronge, only 14 through Stony Rapids, 18 in Nipawin, though 18 in Melfort. So things really are warming up quickly out there. 19 degrees in Wynyard, 17 degrees in Swift Current, 15 in Assiniboia, and 15 in Estevan. Into the afternoon today, we're continuing that trend of seeing the warmer temperatures through central and northern Saskatchewan, right around or slightly above that average. Down south, it's a few degrees cooler, and we're also seeing some very light precipitation today. It's not going to be impacting your entire day, but just a little bit of light drizzle. Swift Current, 19 degrees, 21 for Weyburn and Estevan, 23 for Regina, 25 for Saskatoon, and 26 for the Battlefords. A whole lot of sunshine towards the north today. Now, your 7-day forecast, we're seeing 25 degrees tomorrow for Regina, 25 on Thursday as well, and 27 on Friday. I do want to mention that although the afternoons for the coming days look very clear and sunny, it's the evening hours where we are seeing the risk of some thunderstorms on the radar, so be prepared for that. 31 though on Saturday and 31 on Sunday in Regina, so it's going to be a great weekend for Country Thunder so long as you plan to take some breaks inside, you stay hydrated, and you wear those hats. 26 degrees on Monday with that mix of sun and cloud. In Saskatoon, 26 degrees tomorrow. We are expecting a bit more of that cloud cover though. 23 by Thursday, 25 on Friday. Again, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, all days that we are seeing evening thunderstorms currently coming in on the radar. 28 on Saturday, so not quite breaking into those 30-degree temperatures, but it is still going to be fairly hot and sunny. 28 on Sunday, more of that cloud cover on that day, and 24 by Monday with that sunshine.
World Cup fever has taken over Canada, heck, North America. Some great storylines, including my Norwegians, but also Team Canada and that historic performance. What impact is it having on interest in soccer in this province? Stephen Porter is the Executive Director of Saskatchewan Soccer Association, joins us in the studio this morning. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
The World Cup's been a lot of fun to watch. I bet you're enjoying it more than most.
Yeah, it's been a good time. I've been watching quite a few games. We actually got to go to the Canada-Switzerland game in Vancouver, and the atmosphere around the city was buzzing, so it was awesome.
Tell us what this means for soccer as a whole here in Saskatchewan and Regina and Saskatoon especially, because these are the two major centers where most of the population lives.
Yeah, we'll see how the registration numbers are impacted, but I mean, you see the TV numbers are the highest they've ever been for men's Canada soccer games, so we're anticipating for sure some growth. What kinds of things do you offer for somebody that maybe is watching a game out there and says, I'm 9, I'm 10, I'd like to sign up, I'd like to try it? Yeah, I mean, our main focus is lifelong participation, so we offer programming from 3 years old all the way up into your 80s if you want to play walking soccer. So really, it depends by membership where you are, what region you are in the province. But if you go to our website at Saskatchewan Soccer or sasksoccer.com, you can look at your region and what is offered and which member organization you can enroll with. What does it mean to you to be able to host an event like this here in North America in two of Canada's greatest cities? Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly important. It's probably a once-in-a-lifetime event to be able to host a World Cup in your country. And we see the interest, whether it's social media or TV or the watch parties in person in Vancouver and Toronto. It's been amazing. How do you turn something like 15.4 million people watching on TV into a mass enrollment so that your association thrives? I don't know if you can do it directly. I think you just have to offer a good program and good opportunity for people once they step in the door, and hopefully they fall in love with the game and just continue playing from there. One of the great things is it's affordable, right? Yeah, in the summer for sure. Compared to a lot of other sports? Yeah, in the summer it's quite a bit more affordable. You can get out on the grass and there's not as much facility fees, but in the indoor it can still be quite expensive just because we have a lack of facility infrastructure in the province. So that's kind of one of our main focuses right now, is looking into how do we grow that facility infrastructure so there's a little more opportunity. What do you want people to know about Saskatchewan Soccer Association if they've never come across your group before? Like I said, we just are interested in lifelong participation. We want kids and adults to have fun in the game, grow their soccer skill, grow their life skills, be able to make friends, and just participate in the game from cradle to grave. Maybe somebody wants to, that's dark, maybe somebody wants to sign up their kid, or they want to sign up themselves. They've just heard about 80-year-old soccer and they want to get involved. How do they do it? Yeah, like I said, they can go to our website at sasksoccer.com, and it'll have the regions and the member organizations that we have in each region, and then you can click on that and go to their webpage to enroll. Canada's out. Who are you backing the rest of the way? I don't know. I mean, it'll be tough to beat France, I think. I think so, too. I'm going to cheer for my Norwegians anyway. sasksoccer.com.
Regina's local cemeteries hold more than just memories. They're home to some of the most compelling untold stories. Let's check back in with Janelle Lippi for another look at these chapters from the past.
Good morning. We are finishing up the morning here with Regina Cemetery Tours, and Kenton is joining us once again. Now, Kenton, we've got a headstone here with a very interesting backstory to it.
Yes, so the headstone on it says Bert Blankhorn, 1918, but it also contains the graves of Bertha and Frank Blankhorn, who died in 1912. So they were people who died during the Regina cyclone. We just finished up a month of the cyclone stories, so it's a pretty new story, but we're also going back to them in August for Famous Women of Regina. So the Blankhorns are kind of famous in the city because they were allegedly supposed to be on the Titanic, but they missed the boats. They came over here and then died 3 months later. Kind of like a Final Destination kind of story where death catches up to them 3 months later. But the truth is, that isn't what happened at all. They were actually on the Teutonic. They got into Canada in March. So there was no Titanic involved at all. But I believe that Bertha told her friends that had they been married later in the month, then they would have been on the Titanic, and that quote then carried through the years. Now it's published in books. It's the most well-known story in the city about the cyclone. But unfortunately, it is just a story. It's not quite true.
And this isn't even the only headstone a part of the whole cyclone. We've got quite a few around us who have also been a part of that.
the bulk of them are in this area. Yeah, we got people who were in the boathouse when it happened, people who were in their own houses when it happened. We had a family of 10 where 3 of them died in the storm. There's one not that far away from us. She wanted to go outside and save her chickens during the storm, and she unfortunately died. I think the chickens may have died as well, but I don't know for sure. But there's many stories in this area about what happened, victims of the storm, and different perspectives of what happened that day.
Okay, and this is only one sneak peek to what we can experience at the Regina Cemetery Tours. How can people be a part of this?
So you can go to reginacemetarytours.ca. You can buy your tickets online. We do tours every Friday. We have tours in August, July, September, and October.
All right, Kenton, thank you so much for spending the morning with me. And once again, that is Regina Cemetery Tours. You can head to that website that's been popping up on your screen and be a part of all the fun.
All right, Janelle, thank you very much. We will check back in with you next hour. Sony, the makers of PlayStation, have recently announced that it will no longer be producing physical game discs after 2028. And that has left many in the gaming community feeling like it is game over. Hallie Mandrick has the details.
For Anthony Foster, the owner of Next Level Game Exchange, Sony's recent announcement to cease production of physical games for PlayStation consoles was hard to process.
It's probably the most shocking email I've ever woken up to. I've been in the industry for 20 plus years, 20 years here with Next Level, and I was shocked.
According to the company, all new PlayStation games that are released after January 2028 will only be available in a digital format. Foster shared that while digital downloads have been an option for a while, many still opt for a physical copy.
It's going to be a huge change because as a consumer, you aren't going to own anything anymore. You're going to be paying for the license to play a game until they choose to remove it, and you won't be able to send it to your friend or gift it to somebody.
For many who have worked on the production side of the video game industry, this news isn't shocking, but it is disappointing.
So it seems like maybe they have correctly identified the trend line and the cost opportunity, but sort of misread the room in terms of how people are going to respond.
Hovdestad says the gaming industry is unique in the way that physical media offers a sense of security for those who want to expand their collection.
If I want to go back and watch a movie that I loved as a kid, I can still do that. If I want to read a book that was formative to me 30 years ago, I can still do that. But if I want to go play my favorite game from 25 years ago, it's entirely possible that that's not actually doable. There's no physical way to do it. Some of those things are just lost.
Foster says this decision will have significant impacts on the future of the gaming industry as a whole.
I'm sure it's going to push the retro market even further because there's a lot of people who are very passionate about owning the things that they pay for.
CTV News has reached out to Sony PlayStation for comment. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
I'm Tilly Norwood, the world's first AI actor.
This morning, Tilly Norwood is stepping into a leading role. The company behind the AI-generated actress, whose existence has been a hot-button issue in the entertainment world, announcing a project in the works, what it's calling its first full-length AI feature film.
I now feel that the tech is at a point where we can start doing long-form storytelling and make a feature film.
Tilly's creators described the movie, titled Misaligned, as a comedy drama telling a coming-of-age story infused with existential AI chaos. It's billed as a hybrid production, human film and TV professionals directing, writing, and editing the project alongside AI specialists.
Tilly really started the conversation and showcased what was possible. Now, with this, I am hoping to upskill, retool people and traditional filmmakers to be ready for the new AI workflow and doing it together with them.
Tilly's creators have made it their mission to reframe AI as a tool rather than as a replacement for humans. It even inspired the lyrics to Take the Lead, the single and music video released in March.
AI's not the enemy, it's the key.
Tilly hasn't exactly been embraced by Hollywood stars. Academy Award nominee Demi Moore urging her Hollywood peers to be open to the ever-evolving technology.
AI is here. And so to fight it is to, in a sense, to fight something that is a battle that we will lose. What it can never replace is what true art comes from, which is not the physical, it comes from the soul.
But AI in entertainment appears to be here to stay. The upcoming film As Deep as the Grave features an AI-generated performance from the late Val Kilmer.
Don't fear the dead, and don't fear me.
And unscripted streaming competition Wonka's Golden Ticket is set to include the AI recreated voice of Willy Wonka himself, Gene Wilder.
A whole new generation of real-life golden ticket holders will compete for a life-changing prize.
We are at a point of no return in the sense of that AI is here. The question now is the future of AI. What does Hollywood do with that or not do with that?
There's a dog in Maryland that loves his vanilla ice cream, and it's being credited with helping to improve his life. ABC's Danny New has the story.
July is National Ice Cream Month, and we're meeting someone who wastes no time when he hears that ice cream truck jingle.
That's the fastest he will walk, is to get to the ice cream truck. And some days that's really all he walks.
Over the past few months, 12-year-old Edward here has been picking up a lot of attention online as he shows the world you can still pursue your passions in your golden years.
We can't motivate him some days to take more than 2 or 3 steps, but he will walk the whole way across the lawn to get that ice cream.
Amen, brother. Lindsay and her daughter Austin first brought Edward into their Maryland home as a foster about 2.5 years ago. However, his prognosis was not good.
The vet said, you should have 6 to 12 months of quality life.
From cancer to a crooked spine, his list of ailments was seemingly endless. So Austin and her brother Jack made a bucket list pretty darn long too. They brought Edward to the beach, introduced him to Santa, and even dressed up for Halloween together on more than one occasion. Here they are as the cast of E.T. and even the Kansas City Chiefs, with Austin as Taylor Swift and Edward as Patrick Mahomes.
How much better does Edward make your day when you come home from school?
It's always really good. Sometimes if I've had a bad day for some reason, I always come home and then he's always really happy and he makes me happy.
Well, about 30 months after he was given around 6, Edward has since officially been adopted by their family. A family that has no problem pushing him to his beloved ice cream truck, even if he's not feeling so spry that day.
He still has a will to live, is what I would say. Very much so.
A will to lick.
Live and lick. Lick the ice cream and live.
And Lindsay wanted to emphasize that a lot of the times when you foster an animal, the shelter will pay for all expenses. So you just get a little buddy to love for a while, and who knows, maybe you end up adopting him. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
This brings me to my next point. Tiger ice cream's great, and my son Mateo now likes it too.
Oh, good.
Oh,
there you go.
It's hereditary.
It's coming.
Well, let's move on to sidebar.
Jeremy, talk tradition for me.
How about this couple that has kept the same tradition for 80 years?
Well, we have breakfast down here every Friday with our friends.
So you haven't gone home yet, huh?
Yeah, John and Jerry have had the same breakfast date at their local McDonald's since 1946. Ooh. McDonald's didn't even start serving breakfast till 30 years into this tradition. Couple have had the same meal every time. Sausage McMuffin with egg. That is my favorite. This pair of regulars, for them, the McDonald's lets them bring in their own addition, which is one slice of tomato.
Because they don't have tomatoes.
Yeah, I was
going to say, couldn't they just toss one on for them?
Interesting.
Okay.
Oh, a tradition that has spanned that long.
80 years.
Wow.
That's brand loyalty, if I've ever heard it.
No kidding.
Someone go find Mo Salah. He has a big game today. Egypt star was last seen partying with fans and teammates on the streets of Dallas, Texas. This is after Egypt beat Australia to reach round of 16. He's been having the time of his life. He scored one on penalties to help them win. They play Argentina. That game's at 10 o'clock. You can see on TSN and Crave. Is he going to be there?
I'm sure he'll be there.
They can
and
rally.
ready to go.
On the shoulders of that guy. He's going to take him right to the stadium.
They have high stamina. He's going to rally.
They're young,
Yeah.
vibrant.
Well, this tradition combines two skills, braiding and making cheese.
How do those go together?
Handmade braided cheese. It's a delicacy in Bosnia. It comes from an area by the mountains known for its scenery and food. The cheese can taste different depending on what the cows are grazing on. The most important thing is to keep the ingredients fresh and simple.
So you get strawberry milk from pink cows.
Right, chocolate milk
from
and
brown
cows,
right.
yeah.
Okay, and now you get different flavored cheese from...
Well, that's, information that we all know.
Okay, this is all just science. It's all just science. Hundreds of people up for this giant birthday party in Mexico City. We gotta go. Our show is just about over, but we had to leave you with the 36th birthday party for this adorable panda. Have a great rest of your day. Put on sunscreen.